GONxFREAKS on stage. News from RedNex, where truth is the stage. No bias here, just facts you'll see. In every corner, the world story will tell. From the streets of Paris to Tokyo's gleam, every city, every voice will hear them. No spin, no hype, just calm and serene. RedNex World News, where truth is supreme. Captain Pav and GONxFREAKS, unbiased crew, bringing you the news without a slew. RedNex World News, where truth takes flight. Every day, every night, we keep it tight. Through the chaos, through the calm, we stand. With Captain Pav and GONxFREAKS, we understand. The pulse of the world will never let it fade. RedNex World News, where truth is made. From wars to peace, from despair to hope, we're here to guide you through the scope. No matter the storm, we'll keep you informed. RedNex World News, where truth is born. Captain Pav and GONxFREAKS, unbiased crew, bringing you the news without a clue. RedNex World News, where truth takes flight. Every day, every night, we keep it up. Captain Pav and GONxFREAKS on stage. News from RedNex, where truth is the stage. No bias here, just facts you'll see. In every corner, the world story will tell. From the streets of Paris to Tokyo's gleam, every city, every voice will hear them. No spin, no hype, just calm and serene. RedNex World News, where truth is supreme. Captain Pav and GONxFREAKS.
All right. Welcome. Whoa, what am I looking at here?
Captain Pav and GONxFREAKS
Gen X.
on stage.
We don't usually talk about Gen X.
This is a Gen Z thing, but it starts with Gen X. Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
That's true. I did want to do Gen Z games today, so I have a few things that we can do for that. And hold on, my soundboard's not on the right screen.
Was that
Let's
what that
go.
Sanskrit was I saw in the chat earlier?
It is.
Oh my goodness, more Gen Z shenanigans. I love it. I love it.
World News, where truth is supreme.
Today's our first stream on our new
Unbiased,
separated channel.
bringing you the news without a slew.
Oh, hold on. What's going on? I got two musics going. Hold on. That's not good. What's happening?
We'd rather keep it tight.
Hey, kitty.
Why is this one going still? All right, sorry for the little musical mix-up. We are on the new channel. This is RedNex World News, Team Venture Media Group. Got Captain Pav and GONxFREAKS here. Gonna have a lot of fun today. We got Gen Z games up front. We'll be talking a little bit about Gen Z. And then we have quite a bit of news to get through. I got a few things to do later today, so we're gonna blast through all this. But thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Let's get the games rolling. All right, so we got a little bit of, what do you call it, emoji stories? Is that how they call it? Is that what this thing's called? Let's see. If I do this, Does it go everywhere? Did that show up in the chat? It did not. Oh no, I have my thing hooked up to the other thing. All right, so for now, give me just a moment. It's our first time on a new channel, people. Give us just a second. Hey Bobby, how you doing? We'll get this all figured out in no time. All right, I got YouTube hooked up again. We're doing, what do you call it? Emoji bingo or something. Emoji stories. Let me throw that over to YouTube.
Emoji stories.
Nope, that is not what I wanted to put there. Let's put this. So we have coat, sweat smile, and woman walking as our first emoji story.
Oh, good. Bobby's here, so he can translate if we don't get it.
Yeah, Bobby will know all the... Well, does he know emoji stories? Is this how Bobby communicates with the youngsters? Do you just throw emojis out? Are you like a Naruto? Can you do like emojis with your hands? Like hand emojis? You know what I'm saying? How they do the like thing and the magic comes out? Oh, no. He's not good at emoji stories. All right. So we got coat, sweat smile, and woman walking. All right. We're going to do 10 seconds. Think of your story. Throw it in the chat. And then we'll compare it to what Grok has to say. Or did I close my Grok? Where's my Grok? Oh, Grok pissed me off earlier, so I closed him. All right. Freaky, I don't hear a guess from you.
I just put it into chat.
Oh, there
YouTube
we go.
chat.
I can't go out because my clothes are wrinkled or dirty. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, because I'm too embarrassed to be seen in public because my clothes are all wrinkled and dirty dirty.
I think that's fair enough. I was going to say
I honestly don't know if anyone cares about their clothes being wrinkled anymore, but I think they still care if they're dirty.
If they're like straight up dirty, like and, stains and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, stains and stinky.
Yeah. I was going to say my coat doesn't fit, so I guess I'm walking without one.
That's a good one, actually.
Yep. Yeah. Gained some weight.
I still think I'm using too much logic in my approach, but we'll see.
Well, I think it was a good one. Apparently, this is in line. Grok's saying this has to do with Gen Z is very obsessed with TikTok fashion, and they don't have good clothes. But apparently, there's also Gen Z vocabulary that we may or may not know. One of the things that these Gen Zers likes to say is glow up. Do we know what the phrase glow up means? Let me throw it in the chat just in case.
Glow up.
Can't understand what I'm saying.
Like
glow.
Grow up, but glow up?
Yep, like G-L-O.
Or blow up, but not?
Yeah, but it's like glow.
I think it's like, I have no idea really, but maybe it's like encouraging you to be a Karen. Like you kind of like, you don't blow up, but you like, you shine more in the crowd by like, yelling and throwing a fit.
I like the thought process there. Unfortunately,
they had to glow up because they like tried to be all like in their face and it didn't go right or something like that.
Yeah, it's hard for me to not see the answers when I put together these trivias. So I bet
Bobby's right though. I bet I'm
getting pretty
off.
It's some sort of positive transformation, some like and in this case it could be like leveling up your prettiness to be more pretty, but just generally a positive type of transformation.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now we got another emoji story coming at you. Ziggles, join the fun. This one is broken heart text sob face.
Is that text or is that Tetris?
This is a cell phone.
Okay, it's a cell. Okay. Oh, they're like, it's like the apps. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
And in a crying face and a broken heart and a cell phone. Well, I mean, like the logical thing would just be like your text or your post broke my heart because it's, you know, I don't know.
Your text broke my heart.
Maybe it's the more like your social media status still says you're single, but I thought we were a thing. I don't know.
Bobby said he's making coffee, so he had to throw a short answer in. Where's Ziggle's answer? We got a broken heart, cell phone, and sob face. Lots of tears. I would say like someone got broke up.
I think it's actually, I'm going to change my answer. I think it's that their favorite app got updated and it doesn't work right anymore.
He went completely in a different direction. I like that.
Because I think Gen Z care a lot more about their phones than they do about relationships.
Interesting. Yeah, it could be the AI boyfriend got an update and he doesn't love me anymore, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Whoa, Ziggy. Okay. Well, yeah, why'd you break my phone? Okay, so now I kicked your teeth in. Got it. I was going to say my boyfriend broke up with, or whatever, you know, on a text, and now I'm crying because, of course, you know, chicks would be sitting there crying all day. But apparently, according to Grok, it's I got bad news and then, like, doom scrolled my phone for, or no. I got a bad text and then read it over and over for 4 hours trying to figure it out, or like over-analyzing it. Which I feel like that one is... You got like a text that you like messed you up and then you sat there and like overanalyzed it for 4 hours crying. Okay, yeah, but I think there's much simpler. Like, is this how complicated Gen Z brain works? Like, they're like, I mean, I think we were just like, okay, yeah, the like bad news on a text and you cried about it. Like, right. And they're like, oh no, I got like, it was like 3 layers more deeper. Right. So, I don't know. That one I thought was, I don't know. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe it is like just super maybe they, I don't know. They spend too many cycles on emojis and then they can't understand basics. I don't know. So here's another Gen Z word called a finsta. A finsta. F-insta. Finsta.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
I'm gonna post this picture on my Finsta.
On my Finsta?
Mm-hmm. I think Bobby would know this one. But maybe not. I think so, though. Oh. He knows all... Oh, no, he did! He did!
I think he just gave it away. I think he knows the answer. Yeah, fake... I would... Okay. It makes sense now, but I would not have guessed it.
So apparently, Gen Zs need like multiple social accounts so that they can have like different...
So they can like, I want to post this, but if I post it on my normal account, I'll make people angry at me, so I'll post on my fake account.
Yeah, that kind of shit.
Or like, I'm embarrassed to post this because I don't want anyone to know it's me, so I post it on my fake one. Okay.
Hold on.
Like you could have an account just for trolling.
Yeah, or like, yeah, exactly. Pictures you don't want, you know, your certain friends to see or whatever, I guess is how that works. All right, and we got one more. We got one more emoji story, and then we'll get on with the more serious news.
One more emoji.
One more emoji. Those are books. We got a sleepy and a thought cloud.
I don't think Gen Z reads books, do they?
I know, that's the thing. I don't know how books ended up in here, but this is straight from Grok. And because I closed Grok because he pissed me off earlier.
I'm guessing since they don't actually read books like for like enjoyment purposes, I'm gonna say this means school is so boring, but I had the best dream in class.
Oh, I like it. Want to take a ride in my Ford Finsta? That was close. That was close, Ziggles. I'll give that a close second. This is to me using my books as a pillow so I can think about texting.
Books don't make very good pillows, but they're better than nothing, I guess.
Yeah, I know, but I think they don't know what else to do with them. They can't read at any basic level.
Well, not unless it's in a text message.
Yep. All right. Any other guesses from the audience? All right. So anyway, I was using Grok earlier, and I was trying to get all these games prepared, and I asked it to do some stuff, and it like did something that really made me very, very angry, and I closed it, so I don't have the answer that it gave me for this one.
Okay.
But I appreciate everyone's participation in this very well-structured Gen Z games that we had. And it will only get better. So thank you, everyone, for participating. It can only get better from here. I mean, it pretty much can only... That is true. That is true. All right, what'd Ziggy say? Can't read, so I'm falling asleep thinking about tomorrow. Yep.
That's a good one.
That's too logical, though. Gen Z's...
I know, that's the problem. It's so hard not to be, though. I don't understand how they do it.
How is the simple answer not the... Like, why does it got to be so complicated
it's
about
three
everything?
little icons. Like, how complicated could this message possibly be?
Well, then they overanalyze, and that's the problem. They spend all their cycles trying to figure out what three symbols mean instead of just saying what they're trying to communicate.
Right. Like, where it is simpler just to type it out in words.
So I noticed on our last video, a bunch of people responded to a bunch of different things, but it's funny to me. These people, they watched so long. They watched so much of the content to get to the point that we talked about Tylenol, which was kind of, I mean, it wasn't the first thing we talked about, but they watched all the content just to get to that point and then reply how stupid I am. I'm like, you watched like 2 hours of me being a retard to then realize that you need to tell me I'm retarded. I don't know. I just thought that was hilarious. And I don't know why it didn't pop up on my feed to respond to, but you watched how much to then realize that you don't like it? I don't know. Thank you, everyone, for watching, but jeez, man. Anyway, all right. So this is kind of, I guess, in a 30-second clip, the de-evolution of man as it pertains to everything.
Ow, Daddy, my pussy hurts.
This is what we're getting to. Holy crap. Oh no, I forgot. Bobby sent me some stuff. Oh no, I forgot you sent me some stuff directly. I forgot to include, but this is what's happening. This is what's happening. They just keep getting weaker and weaker, and we're gonna see some stuff later when we get into these like Portland riots, but I swear these and they think they're so tough. And we saw like last week we talked about it too, like that kid who's all like Trump's so bad and all this stuff, and it's just like this weakest little beta boy getting in everyone's face. It's like the only reason you're so confident is because the actual strongmen have restraint. If they just said fuck it, what do you think's about to happen? I don't know, man. It's crazy. Every night after our WoW raid, everyone is cracking Tylenol jokes. Yep. I know. It's crazy. Like, and it's not even that, like we looked at last week too. The news, how many reports were, oh, this study links Tylenol and autism. Oh, this study links Tylenol and like mental issues. Oh, this study. And now we're saying, oh, well, based on the evidence. And these people, okay, I'm going to pull it up now because I can't not do it now. Hold on. We gotta look at this because it was surprising to me and I didn't have time to like respond to it before hopping in here.
No bias.
Let's come down to the comments. They recommend, we're going to go through this real quick. This is specifically around Tylenol. And I had mentioned, hey, by the way, they used to recommend borax. And yeah, there's like so many countless examples through history, including leeches, bloodletting, like just all kind of crazy shit, right? That people would prescribe or do in hopes of some sort of good outcome because it was science. Like, science is not infallible. And frankly, it takes some time to collect data. Like, you can't tell what is the 100-year effect on a population until you've gone through 100 years. Fucking retards. Like, these people are so stupid. They recommend borax that was about 200 years ago. Okay, let's verify that. When did they stop recommending borax for milk? 1906. Okay, so that is what, 120 something years ago. Fucking retards. Like, this isn't even like hard to like look up. When did they look? Basic. I mean, it could be a Gen Z. They don't know how to read. They don't know how to fucking do anything really. But look, Google, back in my day, we had this thing called Google, and in fact, it got so prevalent as the way to find information, they added it to the dictionary as an action. You Google something, we go look it up, right? Yep. It's crazy. You type this thing into this magical thing known as Google, and guess what? With it, do you see how fast it responded to me?
The answers and gives me some sources that I can investigate further.
Interesting. Yeah, look at all this. Starting in 1902, huh? Then they started looking into it. Fucking retards. Oh, but the science. The science. Fucking retards. I swear to God, makes me so angry. All right. You call that recent? Well, yeah, I call within the 120 some years. That's kind of recent. Fucking retard.
I mean, it's not exactly the same, but there's the baby powder thing.
What's baby powder thing?
Like apparently baby powder is linked to like cervical cancer.
Oh my God.
So like this is a couple of years ago, and like I mean, it's like. It was a common, I think, is a common thing for females to use baby powder in some way that, like, on a regular basis that led to many of them getting cancer. And it's been like something they've been doing for a really long time. Like, it's like the mother taught the daughter for like generations kind of a thing. Like, it's a home deal.
Yeah, exactly.
It's something people did. And all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, that shit gives you cancer. You better stop.
Yep. Oh, but my mom did it for 50 years and she was fine.
Going on TikTok, taking baths in baby powder and stuff. They're like, okay, I'm going to stop because, that sounds bad. I don't want cervical cancer. So, I mean, why is this reaction so different? I think we know why this reaction is so different.
So let's proceed. What else does this retard have to say?
President Trump
here?
Said no, and I say yes.
Snake oil salesman. Okay, whatever. That's forever. What happens? Yeah, that's what happened. It's science. Let's get more recent than that. Ivermectin. Okay, ivermectin. How many people has that killed? I don't think any. I'm pretty sure it can't even kill you.
Zoloft.
It's a fucking dewormer, and
that dewormer. Sorry.
And that's the thing. People that have worms, if you get rid of the worms, guess what? They get healthier. It's a anti-parasitic. Documented deaths directly attributed to ivermectin are very rare. And typically it's a misuse or overdose. So what the fuck are you talking about? These stupid ass fucking people just drive me insane. Like, oh, let's see. Who recommended that? Is he a doctor? Yeah, they actually recommend this shit. The guy who invented this won a fucking Nobel Peace Prize. You retard. And again, this machine, this magical machine called Google, you could easily just look any of this shit up, big brain. How many would still be alive if they listen? Okay, what the fuck is that even talking about? And you're too stupid. And this is the funny thing. People that always come at you like, oh, it's so stupid, are usually the dumbest people. The Dunning-Kruger effect is always shocking to see. Well said. And another idiot. Anyway, so I couldn't... It's just...
Well said.
Just the people, I swear to God, they just...
And you didn't have an aneurysm.
Somehow. Because I had seen it already, I think it got it out of the way.
You pre-prepared. You got it out of the way. Gotcha.
He was like, ready to record. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Math ain't mathing on that comment. Yep. Yes, women used to use it downstairs to keep it fresher, and tack is... Yep. Aneurysm. I'm telling you, if I hadn't pre-read that, like, yeah, I would have probably went off a little bit more. But these people, science, and frankly, they want to say science, but what they mean by science is whatever CNN tells them science says. Oh, I listen to the science. I read the science. Yeah, you can't even fucking read, half of you retards. You're talking, oh, I read the science, aka turn into your favorite Echo box and listen to whatever the fuck they say. Insanity, man. Just makes me so angry. It literally makes me so angry. And this chick, apparently, I don't know, she had a whole bunch of drama, but I don't know, I guess people got over it. But we're going to watch just a couple seconds of what she's about to say. Is kind of spot on.
According to a recent survey, a whopping 77% of Gen Zers have admitted to bringing their parents to a job interview.
What? I'm sorry. What?
No, well, first off, I don't know if my
what parent would. I'm sorry. That's like wrong on two levels. Like
I know
at least.
I know.
And my reaction is, what parent would be that like non-parental? It's like, no, Junior, grow a pair. Go to your freaking job interview, and you're probably going to fail, and you're going to learn from it, and you're going to do it again until you get a job.
You're going to figure it out, son, or you're going to die trying. Holy crap. 77?
By the way, parents.
77%?
I guess. I can't condone violence.
If you need to, do it, but don't do it for no reason.
Right. I still think negative reinforcement has its place.
Mommy! Ah! I know, and some people, they can't communicate, so like they use their parent in order to like answer the questions. It's like, you can't even communicate, but you want a job? Like, how the hell is this gonna work? Dude, I don't know. It's been a minute since I had to actually like interview someone or like hire anyone. But I swear to God, if someone showed up with a parent, I'd be like, why are you even here? Like, there's no way. There's no way. You may as well just go home and think about what you just did. Oh my God. That's about all I can stand from this bitch, but 77%, I think that was worth the 9 seconds we took on her. All right.
Did she say 77%?
Yeah, you didn't catch that part?
No, I heard a number, and then just the fact that anyone would take their parent with them to a job interview is what shocked me. So that's a lot. I thought it was she said like 30 or something like that. That's 77. That's like the vast majority of Gen Z. I mean, that's like what?
I know. It'd be something if it was some like small percentage of like weirdos. Like, okay, I guess like we have.
And if you take out the Gen Z on the only person's platform, then because I don't think they're taking their parents with them to the job interview. I mean, that's like
they might
pretty much darn right all of them.
Dude, hold on, full stop. That chick who just like banged 1,000 guys in a 24-hour period, her parents are her manager.
Okay, so wow.
Yeah. So yeah,
That
in fact,
of the year award. To both
I think
of them.
that's more common than you would believe, honestly, where they're more or less pimping their children out to the internet. It's crazy. Anyway, this guy, I like this guy. It's kind of weird. He's like super abrasive, but if you think about what he's actually saying, it's like I can't actually come up with an issue with anything he's saying.
Right. Yeah, I've seen some of his clips. He is very abrasive.
What have I actually said to you that's actually disrespectful except challenge your views?
Constant interruption, then also the tone. Like there's a tone is absolutely respectful or disrespectful.
Your tone has been super condescending. I just don't comment on it.
I don't think that's true at all.
Yeah, I know you don't think that, but you see these subjective metrics of tone. Give me something I said. Did I call you a whore?
You can be disrespectful without blatantly calling someone a whore. If I'm telling you that I feel that this conversation has been very disrespectful.
I feel that you have been extraordinarily disrespectful. Your tone, from now on, when you talk to me, I need you to use a sing-song voice, because otherwise I feel disrespected. Now, I can't give you any particular words that you've said, any particular phrases, any particular insults, because none of that matters. Inside of my brain, I perceive your non-sing-song voice as being fucking disrespectful.
No, I'm heading out.
Wait, we're almost done.
He's trying to make a point. She doesn't get it.
I know, he's trying to make a point, you stupid bitch. He's not, this isn't, like, he's not being serious. The point is
being a jerk on purpose.
Oh
I
my
mean, he is, but he isn't.
It's so crazy.
He's trying to get her to understand that she's doing it to him. It's just like
it's the same exact thing. I know they can't.
Completely oblivious.
It's vampire. You can't see your own reflection. You look in the mirror, and it's not that you just can't see it. You can see everyone else, but you can't see it. And it's just straight nutty, man. Anyway, I don't know. So, and this is really what all this like trans stuff. This, I can't find a lot of trans news lately, which is great, but this kind of reminded me of it. It's the same thing they do. Like,
the fact that you can't find any lately I think is a little suspicious.
Suspicious of what?
I don't know. It just seems a little strange. Like something he's like, I don't know. Somebody's planning something.
I know, dude. The more you look into things, the more all the strings are connected, and you see like just all this shit, and you become like completely. You feel crazy, honestly. If you go too far down the rabbit hole,
I'm crazy. Yes, I feel crazier sometimes. I'm like, why is this even coming into question about certain things? In general. Nothing specific.
Coffee. Spirit animal. On my job says abrasive, condescending tone, but well-meaning. Yep. Is that real, Bobby? But, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, at the end of the day, and especially I feel like the older generation, just say what you need to get done and, like, don't be a bitch about it and just get it done.
I think the older you get, you also kind of lose that, like, you just stop caring as much. It's like, I'm just gonna tell you because I don't have time to deal with.
So why is my account not allowed to like vote on anything? This is crazy. Why am I disabled from voting? Anyway, this kind of shit drives me crazy too. These women liberal, just airhead, like, mental gymnastics. You say like two things adjacent where the whole like this is true but it's sarcasm, and this is like blatantly insanity but it's your main point. It's like this kind of behavior just I don't know how we fix it, honestly. I literally don't even know how you address this.
Men actually benefit from marriage more than women do. And when you look at the statistics of like post-divorce mental health outcomes, men have worse mental health outcomes than women. Women are typically happier after divorce. And so if you want to argue that marriage disproportionately benefits women, like that's not true.
I'd be pretty unhappy too if I was on child support or alimony. And I
All right, so that first person's point that she's trying to make is that men benefit more from marriage than women. Which, I don't know. I'm not going to say one way or another who benefits more, but I think there's benefits to both sides. And there's downsides to both sides. And now they're talking about custody and like alimony and stuff.
had a hard time seeing my kids.
And you had to support your children. What a hard life.
Well, you understand that it's not taxed. So the problem is they take over 50% of the man's income because it's not, so they have to pay taxes on the stuff they're giving her and take half of his paycheck.
To support his children that he wants to be involved in their lives.
Right, but it wasn't his choice because women leave the majority of the time.
It is his choice to relinquish his parental rights if he wants to.
What I'm saying is many
You hear this?
want to be married.
Yeah.
He could relinquish his parental rights if he... See, and this, like, double-sided bullshit from this bitch, I swear to God, this kind of shit just makes me insane. But she wants to say, oh, he's giving me half his money to raise his kids. So, in this case... She is raising his kids. They're not her kids. They're his kids, and he should pay her to raise them.
But if he doesn't want to, he can just not be their dad anymore and not have any contact with his children. And right, he probably still has to pay her.
Yeah, and all this crazy shit, like, oh, well, he could just give up his rights. Well, how about you stop being a psycho bitch? Holy crap. And this is, and like, they're like poisoned into this. Oh man, I've seen some clips. It just the poisoned brains and the mind rot and this, like, the things that these women will say. It's like, oh my God, like this unhinged, unhealthy, like psycho shit. But all this person is trying to say is like, yeah, the man actually wants to be married, as we saw in the last episode with the polling, right? Conservative men want to get married and have kids and have a family. Liberal women do not want kids at all. And if they do have them, then they're his kids and she's raising them and getting paid to do so. Because she can't clearly do anything else except spit out some babies and then hold them hostage for some other dude's fucking paycheck. God, it's like so sadistic.
And they want to be an involved father and they want to stay with the mother of their children. My point is, if she makes the decision to leave, she should pay for it.
Yeah, and then she's also saying, by the way, if you're the one that's choosing to leave, then, and he wants to have a family, what the hell? How does that work? And you want to take the kids away. Like none of that adds up.
You want to leave, that's totally fine, but you should pay to raise your kids.
Is it not his child as well?
And he should pay for the time. That's why I said 50-50 custody off the bat, no child support, no alimony.
So she gets to take on all of the child care responsibilities, but he doesn't have
He's
to
not hearing
pay anything. He doesn't have to have any.
50-50.
I know, it's just so stupid. It's in one ear and out the other.
This is all me on me. And it's like, no, 50-50. Like, you get a 50% of the time, you pay for 50% of the costs.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's crazy. And I mean, honestly,
simple. That's equality. I mean, what's wrong with that? Right?
Yeah.
Especially from the liberal perspective.
And I mean, honestly, and it will end up being more than that, because if you're going to have a kid in two different places, you're going to have a bed here and a bed there, and you're going to have clothes here and clothes there. You know, you're going to have this and that. And Yeah, I mean, even just for the kid, he's gonna have more than one set of things. Just because every time he goes somewhere, you gotta bring like a suitcase every, like
his Xbox at his dad's. Yeah, absolutely.
And then if mom doesn't want to buy an Xbox, then she's the bitch. Like, whatever.
Exactly.
Why I got with dad's because he got the Xbox.
Doesn't love me enough to buy me an Xbox. That's for sure. I
know, it's crazy. Oh man. Bobby, I'm married. Ain't no plus side on either side. In Missouri, it's a maternal state, so the mom benefits more. When my kid does something wrong, I'll say, "Your kid did this." Yep. Well, and that's fine when it's in fun, but when it's like, "Oh, it's your kid, and you need to pay me because I'm raising your children that have nothing to do with me," you know what I mean? That's when it becomes a problem to me. When it's like this kind of like, I don't know how they do it. They just, in their head, it's like a switch. Like, oh, I got stuck with his kids somehow, and now he should pay me because. It's like, I'm pretty sure at some point along the way, you were involved in this whole decision of whether kids appeared or not. So, just throwing that out there. I don't know how they're just conveniently only his when money comes up.
I said 50-50 custody. He should have the kid half the time.
But doesn't have to pay any money towards it.
No, he should pay for the kid when the kid's at his house.
Okay, and so the majority of the time when the kid is at the mother's house, he doesn't have to be involved in any way financially.
Not majority of the time, if it's 50-50.
Why should he have to pay for a kid?
He should support it.
If she chose to have the kid and she chooses divorce, why should she not have to pay for her own decision? That's the thing. See, there it is. You want all the freedom to do whatever you want, but you don't want to have to pay for it.
Yep.
That's so insane.
Wouldn't we all like that? Because that would just be like, I would say it'd be wonderful, but I think it would actually be probably quite awful.
I know.
Nothing would ever get done. Everything would be paid for by money that doesn't exist, and then we'd all starve to death. Okay.
But this isn't like, oh, she just decided this one day. This is the society of Karens and the fucking heckling.
No, don't forget the divorce lawyers that make most of the money that these women
There's
get.
That. I mean, even the incentive to get divorced and get like the child care, like to me, that's not even enough money. Like, are you kidding me? Like, you're gonna have a baby for like, what is it, like $6,000 or something? Like, are you fucking kidding me? That's a net loss. I don't understand how you think that's a positive. Like, you're coming out way behind on that. But this, like, I don't get it. All the incentives are to like have kids and then get divorced and not raise them well and be selfish and just do whatever the hell you want. And I struggle. I really don't get it. And it's like they're fed that this not only good, but it's like righteous almost. It's like, yeah, girl, like, oh, you go do you know, you done the mom thing long enough or whatever. It's like, what? I didn't know there was a time frame on being the mom. I thought once you had a kid, like, that was it. Like, you're the mom. Like, I didn't know there was eventually that stops. Now, this is an old clip, but I think, again, it kind of highlights the insanity of where we live.
Here, let's watch this because it's so funny.
White people have privilege, so why would we need our own housing?
Like, what is this thing? Like, this, first off, I thought this was a dude, but apparently it's a chick. So.
It's an interesting choice of hairstyle.
Just everything. You're wearing like
the Medusa look.
Just everything about this. It's just what is going on here. But at any rate, if we get past what we're looking at, this person is saying that white people don't need their own space. But if a minority group or anyone else, literally anyone else but white people, needs their own space to feel safe, that they should have their own space that white people can't go to, or really anyone else besides that particular group, but not white people, because white people have so much privilege that they shouldn't feel unsafe, or like there's no reason for them to ever feel uncomfortable for any reason, more or less. Let's hear what they actually say.
People of color are people who are, discriminated against and face like injustice and inequity. White people do not have that problem. A white person in the US has the utmost privilege over all races. We don't need like a white safe space. That's not necessary.
But if they feel like they need that space, then why would that be wrong?
Why would a white person feel less comfortable in other races? That's their own problem.
You feel
like, I don't understand. Like, can people not just like insert, like just shuffle that one qualifier around? Like, if you can mix around the qualifiers and then it becomes bad in a different combination.
Yeah, like white lives matters.
Yeah, then all of a sudden you start to have like a little bit shaky ground that you're standing on. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we move this around, like, why would black people feel unsafe? Why would they need why would an Asian person? Why would women need their own space? Why do women have their own bathrooms when changing space? Like, why would a woman ever feel unsafe around a bunch of men? Like, you know what I mean? Like, are you retarded? Like, clearly.
I feel like it's a contradiction for you to advocate that other races.
There's such thing as reverse racism.
I'm not saying racism, but I'm saying you argue that other races can have their spaces if they feel like they need it, but not white people.
Yeah, that's because white people are privileged. We are at the top of the social hierarchy.
So, for example, students of color getting preferential treatment over white students, I feel like that's a form of racism.
Racism against white people?
Yeah.
Do you see like where's the loading spinner? Like, they should have put the loading spinner with,
It's this weird mindset. They think it's impossible to be racist to,
like, it's so incomprehensible that this person's brain is like shocked, like
racial group, thereby proving that they are racist. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't know. And just the like, wow, crash, blue screen, reboot.
Right.
What?
It doesn't make any sense.
Like, what did you just say?
White racism does not exist. Are you a conservative?
I am a conservative, yes. Is that a problem?
Yes.
Why?
Goodbye.
She's gonna walk away. Oh, goodbye. It's like you have to trick them to talk to you, and then they realize that they're being tricked and they scurry away. I've seen a lot of clips where someone will like come up to the mic, they'll yell, and then run away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, before the person that they yell at could even respond.
Can even respond. Exactly.
Like, it's like, usually they ask a question and then they run away. It's like, wait, you just asked me a question, you're not even stick around for the answer? It's like, what?
Mm-hmm. Nope, they just needed their moment of
what? They just want
attention.
their moment of yelling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look at me, I'm yelling.
Look at me, I'm yelling at the guy. Bye, bye, woo.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm off to Starbucks. Bye-bye.
Oh man. All right. Well, we're doing pretty good. We're trucking along. I appreciate everyone for joining us. Ziggy, curly hair's fine, but that is a whole level of I don't even know what's going on there. I would never want to be around that person.
It wasn't really curly. It was more like wavy strands of spaghetti attached to her head. I just thought it was like, but it was on purpose. It wasn't.
I know it was
like she did something very purpostful to get her hair to look like that. Mm-hmm. I just thought it was kind of like an interesting choice. Like, I would not have gone for the spaghetti.
I would not either. Spaghetti.
And again, I don't have any hair anymore, so I can't even if I wanted to.
I can't even. I want to. Yeah. Now that I'd be afraid of that chick stabbing me, man. Like, I'd be like, you're some psycho that carries around like scissors.
Let me see your hands before I answer that.
Yes. Jerry curls. Yeah, just really I know it was like that greasy. It looked wet, but I guess greasy. It could have been
Jerry
greasy.
curls. I remember those.
All right. This chick. Let's see. these people on The View are just so...
How are these people still, like, getting...
Because
work?
Karens, man! They just sit and watch these psychos just drivel on and cackle. It's, like, entertaining to... It's not even entertaining. It's like the cackling draws them in and they start cackling too. It's like, you know, when dogs howl and then the other ones come over and howl too. Like, I don't know, man.
The deep fake AI video last night that featured things Senator Schumer.
All right. Deep fake. All right.
Uh-oh.
The point of a deep fake is it should be... You can't tell that it's fake. It's kind of the point. Like a deep fake, it's not supposed to... It's supposed to present itself as true.
Right.
Can anyone, for even a split second, believe this is not fake?
Schumer never said and had Minority Leader Jeffries wearing a sombrero and a mustache.
Oh my gosh, you think that is a deep fake? Really?
Yeah, so that crazy tweet with him in a sombrero and Schumer saying the most psycho shit, obviously. And they're saying this is a deep fake presented to try and confuse the American people into thinking Schumer.
Oh my goodness.
It's that bad, buddy. Oh my God. I don't even know who is it. I hope not.
Because this guy always wears sombreros.
I know, and just all of a sudden has this giant mustache.
So it's very common for him to wear a sombrero, obviously.
And a giant ass mustache. That's clearly a cartoon mustache.
Despicable is the resorting to racism.
And it's despicable racism. It's despicable racism! Look how mad she is! I'm gonna die.
I completely don't understand why they keep bringing him out when he makes them look like well, they are, but he makes them look really stupid.
Laughurism, yes! That is accurate! Oh my God! I'm gonna pass out. I can't breathe.
And xenophobia, which they always seem to do.
Xenophobia!
Xenophobia? Do you even know what that means? Excuse me. I need a drink.
Oh my God. Oh my God. We might have to watch this one again.
So they have Speaker Jeffries in this sombrero and this mustache, trying to basically imply that the Democrats are holding out for health care.
No, Ziggy, no! Let me die! Let me die!
It's extremely racist. Wow. It's extremely xenophobic. It's feeding sort of that xenophobia that we're seeing a lot in this country.
So that is a meme. It's obvious that it's a meme.
That is a meme. That is obviously a meme. Holy crap. I'm not going to survive this. Oh, God. That. He had to say... How are we having this conversation? That is a meme. Oh my God.
He's kind of has one of the best jobs, though.
I kind of love Lauren.
He gets paid for this. He's like, I'm getting paid to come on here and tell these women they're morons? Okay, cool.
Can Lauren be a guy's name too, or is it only a girl's name?
Lauren is usually a female's name.
predominantly female. All right. Well, I love Lauren coming in, and he or she leaves like kind of reverse comments. Which I appreciate all comments, so thank you.
It could be short for Lawrence, but I would think that's uncommon.
Yeah, that would be a strange. Well, you just save 2 letters.
Right. Yeah, it's like, I mean, Lawrence sounds better. So
Bobby, that is 100% accurate. One day, I will have a cam, and you guys can watch me literally to die on camera one day from doing this. Freaky, don't be uncommon. Go follow Foster Bail Bonds, I guess. Go follow Foster Bail Bonds?
Uncommon? What do you mean uncommon? I don't understand. I got my coffee, though.
All right. Let's see if we can get through this.
And sticking that huge AI-generated warning on it, honestly, is an insult to the intelligence of your audience.
He just went back to 100 again. Oh my god! He's just calmly explaining the most blatant ass thing to a bunch of fucking retarded liberal women. Oh my god! We have to watch this again. I don't know how to back up on Facebook. I'm a boomer, apparently. I can't do it. No, boomer would know how to do it. I am not a boomer because I don't know how to do it.
But maybe you know your audience better than I do. But it's called a meme. And the right is very good at creating political memes that effectively get a point across. In this case, healthcare for illegal immigrants. Now, if you find that meme racist, then this photo of you, Joy, in blackface, which is not, nor is it AI generated.
Wow.
Must undeniably be racist by your own standards, no?
We'll be right back.
We gotta go.
Marshall.
Yep, and this bitch she goes off. She's like, no, the black people support me in that. She said, that wasn't racist. That was homage to a great black woman. Holy crap. I need to see this again. Bobby, I'm assuming you sent this to me because it's Facebook and I don't know how else I would have found this.
Trump posted a deep fake AI video last night that featured things Senator Schumer never said and had my
He never said this.
Wearing a sombrero and a mustache.
He had a mustache.
Really despicable is the resorting to racism and xenophobia, which they always seem to do. So they have Speaker Jeffries in this sombrero and this mustache, trying to basically imply that the Democrats are holding out for health care for undocumented immigrants. That's what that messaging was supposed to be.
Racist.
And it's extremely racist.
Wow.
It's extremely xenophobic. It's feeding sort of that xenophobia that we're seeing in this country.
So that is a meme. It's obvious that it's a meme. And sticking that huge AI-generated warning on it, honestly, is an insult to the intelligence of your audience. But maybe you know your audience better than I do. But it's called a meme. And the right is very good at creating political memes that effectively get a point across. In this case, healthcare for illegal immigrants. Now, if you find that meme racist, then this photo of you, Joy, in blackface, which is not a meme, nor is it AI generated, undeniably be racist by your own standards, no?
They did not know he was coming.
Afro
He
wig?
just
Like,
showed up with this picture and was like, hey, bitch. He just happened to have this picture on. Oh my god. Bobby, are you trying to kill me, man?
I think that might be one of his goals.
He sent me something else that was fucking hilarious. I don't know if we could watch it, though. Oh my God, Bobby. All right, holy crap. What's that PO box? I need this. I pinned it. Let me see if I can pull it up at some point. Just send me a cam. I have a cam. Once we get to enough subscribers and my business is sold, I will go cam on. But for the moment, I'm trying to get like a what do you call it? One of these like puppet avatars or something that'll like dance around the screen or something.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
But and then it could maybe, you know, fall over and die sometimes from laughing or whatever. Claim to fame, but then I'll try and find them on YouTube next time for you. You technologically NFL. All right. Holy crap. This is too much for me. This guy in the back, this amazing Lucas. I swear to God.
I like these guys actually. I think that what they comment on is usually quite entertaining.
Yeah. These two in the front, these are the conservative twins. The guy in the back is amazing Lucas. And
I don't know who that is. I meant the guys at the front.
Yeah.
The bottom.
They're
front.
pretty good. And they keep it real. And they talk about the things that, you know, white people aren't allowed to talk about. So it's
cool. That's why I think that's why we appreciate them. They can say the things that we can't.
They are the voice of reason for us all. But this guy here, unfortunately, is the nastiest, slimiest piece of shit. I would say a bunch more words, but I'm going to keep this a little bit on the nicer side. But he is one of the reasons that black people like have this problem. And when you look up to someone like this, and this is the person that you're idolizing, you will literally never get anywhere. At least not without violence.
How we care what happens on the train?
Always care.
Oh my goodness. So if you haven't heard, the racists out there, the white ignorants, have their new poster child, okay, for this month. Seems that there's a new one every week. I don't know what to tell you. But this poster child is something they use as a pretext to justify their hatred, their vitriol, their racism, and them being overall victims, right? Because they're under the belief that, oh, everyone hates white people, and there's white racism out here, and this is horrible, and we gotta do something about it. That in a...
Well, wait a minute, this is...
So that is the starting point of this discussion, in case anyone was interested. This is just... And we wonder, like, oh, well, why are all these problems existing? Let's think about this for a second. The Hodge twins, yep. The conservative twins, that's correct.
This is crazy. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that are racist, and what you're saying is true. They're using this as, you know, a way to spread that hate. But I think the majority of white people are good, and they care about crime on the subway.
Good.
You think?
I think that about the majority of people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my impression. That's my assumption. Yeah, but he's saying white people feel like everybody hates them. He's actually going to prove that point correct here in about 2 minutes.
See, stupid, everything just tracks me, I swear to
The
God.
mindset of these white ignorants. So,
buying fancy jewelry.
When the story came about, they were all giddy. And what happened is that...
And this fucking low IQ piece of trash loser, I'll save the additional commentary for later, but feels so confident that he can just say white ignorance and all this dumb shit, like he's so smart and he's like got anything going for him other than being a piece of shit, hateful piece of shit.
You have this woman, Arena, I believe is her name. She met her demise on the train, and it was at the hands of, wait for it, the boogie man. That's correct, the black man. That's...
Well, of course he is. Do you see what he did?
So I don't even understand what he is trying to, like, why, like, okay, yeah, this black guy just killed her for no reason. That's correct. So why are you, like, What are you trying to say?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
What are we misunderstanding about this? Like what? It didn't happen? Like what? Like I don't understand. What is his? He's getting twisted about something. Yeah, this black dude killed this tiny white girl who was minding her own ass business for no fucking reason other than she was white. You've got that correct. You have that correct, but you don't seem to understand that that's a problem. Like, I don't understand what's going on here.
Yeah, he is a boogeyman. He is a monster, and he should have been locked up. He has he's a career criminal. He shouldn't be even on the streets, but because of black privilege, he's in a position where he can do something evil to somebody for no reason at all. Yeah, and there's no denying that. That's a fact. He should have been locked up a long time ago, and the arena should still be alive if we was tough on crime. Yeah, and that's what's galvanized white people to talk about this, not because they're racist. Yeah, they're getting tired of being slaughtered by us. Yeah.
That's how happy they were.
I think it's
okay.
It's that. It's just don't want to like these criminals that should be in jail are going around being released, and then they go murder someone, regardless of why. That's the problem. Like,
I mean, regardless of why, that's
also
true.
A problem, but the main problem is the fact that these are criminals that were arrested before and were released, and they did more crime, and they were arrested, and they were released, and then they murdered someone. And I hope that means they're not going to be released again, but there's apparently a revolving door in some of these cities. So
I know, right? Just here you go.
That's where a lot of people are like, I think we should be upset about this. Like everyone should be upset. Doesn't matter what color you are, what you think of white people or not. I mean, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter.
Crazy.
Doing this because this justifies all of their hate.
No, I don't think any white person, even if they're racist, they're happy to hear about something like this. Yeah, because it justifies their hate. Yeah, I think you overgeneralize.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem. That's how Democrats think. This is the
this
problem.
This guy's just jumping on it. He's like, yeah, I have something to yell about now.
But that's the thing that Democrats do. They attach bad things to a reason to justify their hatred. That's not something that they're like projecting this backwards. It's like, that's how you behave. In fact, that is not how other people behave. No one was like, yay, see, look how bad black people are. I'm so glad this lady got killed to prove my point. No, literally nobody. Literally nobody. However, we often and frequently see that from liberals, as most notably recently, Charlie Kirk. I don't know. Like, let's see. I don't know, man. This is the craziest shit. And they're trying to even justify it when it's not. Like, they just twist anything. There's like anything that's bad. They're like, oh, this justifies anything that I happen to believe because this bad thing happened. Oh. Okay.
You need to save this energy for destiny. Yeah. That's the nut you should be focusing this. Yeah, and I think both sides, the left and the right, we do generalize things from time to time. The left, they do it 24/7.
Human nature to do that.
They're very speculative. They make things up. It's almost like they're hearing voices. Yeah. They see things that's schizophrenic. Not that.
Hatred, right? They go and cherry pick little stories to justify their wicked behavior. Oh, look, see, this is why we, the black people, this is why the crime rate, this is what they do. This is their MO.
Yeah, cherry pick. No, I could literally go to the newspaper right now. I guarantee you. It's not cherry pick. There's abundance. There's literally abundance. It's unreal. And this is twisted, like, and this person, I think he believes what he's saying, but either he believes what he's saying, which I think is the case, or he's a really good troll who can, like, more or less just fuel the gaslighting. Like, he knows what that
fuel the fire.
Like, what needs to be said to make that happen and, like, rage people in and do X, Y, and Z or whatever without believing it. But he knows, like, if I do this, that's going to get the outcome that I want. I don't think that's the case for him, but that's the only way I could see him not being, like, the absolute most scum actual person in the world. Like, his genuinely believes it and just, for some reason, choosing to imposter the worst terrible subhuman scum possible. Like, I don't know, actually I don't know which is worse, but being it or wanting to, like, imposter it, I'm not sure. But either way, just a terrible piece of shit human right here.
Well, eventually, if you imposter it enough and long enough, you're gonna eventually start to believe it
Yeah,
yourself.
look at fucking.
Just like Putin and his own propaganda. He's like, yeah, we're winning this war. It's great.
I was gonna say Jimmy Kimmel,
You know?
and Stephen
Jimmy
Colbert.
Kimmel. I'm so
and-
funny.
Mhm.
I can't fail. People
And
love me.
who was the other guy? The other Colbert, whoever that. You can't even think of their names. They're so irrelevant now. But it's like they went from being funny and politically satire and everything to being
to being that satire, exactly, to living
which is
and
just
believing
crazy. Yeah, it rotted into the point. Yeah,
when he was first on the air, he was hilarious.
He was so
and it was so obvious satire, but that changed. Like over his time on the air, he really became what he was making fun of. Like initially, like it's like, what did that happen to that person? I don't know.
Oh my god, I know. It's so crazy. How does that happen?
Probably money, but could have
like
been a
you
trip to
went
an island.
into it knowing like how ridiculous it was, and then you became that thing. Like you went into it knowing.
Yeah, you had more knowledge of it beforehand than most people, and yet you still succumbed to it. It's just, I don't know. It's
like
just what? It's like, this shit's the dark side for sure.
Holy crap.
Cherry picking stories. Yeah, I wouldn't use the word cherry picking. Yeah, I mean, this happens all the time. Yeah. And like I story for Arena, this happened months ago, and it just came out. Right. They've been hiding this. Now, if the roles were reversed, this would have came out a lot sooner. A lot sooner. If it had been a black person getting stabbed to death by a white person. Right. I don't think that's a accurate term to use, cherry pick.
Yeah. It would have been the first, like the second it happened, it would have been national news, and it would have been riots everywhere. And especially if the guy was like, "Oh, you black person, whatever, da da da," and killed him. And then everyone had it on camera. Oh man. Wow. Just the difference, and that could have been just, anyone really, but you kill a very prominent person and then you don't see that kind of backlash, which frankly I'm a little bit mixed on, but I feel like there should have been something more. Like I would have liked to see like protests against all these liberal senators and like let's go state to state and just start making a ruckus. They want to do it. We have another All Kings rally coming up. Like who is doing all this stuff? Like let's go. All right, what do we got here? Leody PV, what's going on? Welcome.
Like I said before, the main difference is that the people on the right tend to have more important things to do with their time, like go to work and raise their children and build their businesses. So, like, just dropping everything and going off to the other side of the country to protest is,
I know it's less feasible
than the other side of the group that has a large pool of people who have no jobs and who don't want to work.
I don't know. Supposedly, a lot of Gen Zs are like men at least are conservative. Like,
I'm just.
And if they're having whatever, you can't find a job. Let's go. You got nothing else to do.
I just mean there's a large group of unemployed people on the left who are happy to get up and go and do something, especially if they're getting paid to do it. That's all. Because I guess, Eric, Gen Z doesn't want to work. So that was suggestive, what I just said. By their own admission, Gen Z does not want to work.
Yep, well, not a 9 to 5, that's for sure. We learned all about that.
No.
All right, well, this will come back up a little bit later in one of the other segments, but I thought this was kind of funny. This guy, Caleb Hammer, reviews like finances, and apparently these people got $300,000 into debt to flee Trump's America.
His beard does not match his mustache.
No, it does not.
Like his mustache is like
this should be standalone,
manicured, and his beard is like I don't care.
I don't know, but I don't care. It's kind of
it clashes. It's like okay, I don't care nearly as much as I do about my mustache.
We did a Gen Z segment first.
Maybe he's growing it. Maybe he's trying to grow it in. That could be it.
So we have a few different segments. We did Gen Z. We did liberal white women. We did more liberal white women. A little bit of liberal stuff, and then we're going to be moving on to ICE, Portland stuff, and Charlie Kirk stuff. All right, but $300,000 into debt.
We just talk about some Gen Z stuff, and we did Gen Z games.
We like to start off more lighthearted.
We really want to get the out of this country.
Is there an actual plan here, or is it a wham wham? I hate the America.
I wouldn't say that. I mean,
we can disagree with every elected official. They were elected.
I don't know about Democratic.
Is there anything in your life that is just like not trauma Olympics?
You don't put in enough effort. You could do more.
You're doing nothing that would be considered trying.
I am trying to.
No, you're not, because
Yes,
you're doing.
I am.
You. You are not trying. I don't want to hear it. This is some bull.
All right. We're not actually going to watch anything on this, but I just thought it was funny. These people are like so deranged that they need to flee America and get massively into debt. And I've seen like a bunch of these clips like, hey, I'll pay you for your flight. Where do you want to go if you're so unhappy with America? And they're like, nah, we'll just stay. It's like, oh, it's the worst place ever, but you can't think of one place you'd rather be, but it's just so terrible here. Think about that for a second. So even if it was the like least bad of bad, shouldn't you be happy about that? Like, I don't know, it's crazy. Like, you're in the least bad of all the bad. Just stop. All right, Bill Maher. This is getting into some of the ICE stuff. This is a clip from a while ago, but it kind of will lead into some of the stuff that's happening now, so I just think it's a little bit relevant as a warm-up. I'm going to go ahead and take a sip of coffee while we play this.
Coffee? It's been a little heavy-handed. Don't you think you've picked up a bunch of people who shouldn't be picked up at all?
Do you see how the audience is clapping to that? Like, what is the... So, do people believe this? That ICE is going around and picking up American citizens? Or, like, who are the people that are supposedly being picked up that are not supposed to be being picked up? Because it's either...
Yeah, that's a
You're
good
saying
question.
American citizens are just getting picked up by ICE and going somewhere randomly, which... Is that happening? Like, I'm truly asking, like, is anyone... Are we just losing Americans here? Like, I don't think so. And then the whole audience just starts clapping. It's like, well, what are you applauding? Like I don't understand. Like, oh, they're picking up too many people. Like, what does that mean? Like, we have millions of people that shouldn't be here. Like, what's too many? Did we get 1 million out of 20 million? That's too many. Like, I don't. What is happening?
It doesn't seem like it was done with a scalpel.
What I've said from day one, if you're in the country illegally, you're not off the table. You know why? Because there are millions of people standing in line, taking their tests, doing the background investigations, paying their fees to be part of the greatest nation on earth. If you want to send a message to the whole world, cross the border illegally, it's a crime, but it's okay. Just don't commit another crime and you're good to go. If that's the message we send to the whole world, people are going to keep coming. Illegal immigration is not a victimless crime. But the reason I am who I am, I've talked and got on my knees and talked to 9-year-old little girls who were raped by multiple members of a cartel just for passing her across the river. I stood in back of a tractor trailer with 19 dead people who baked to death. I ran Operation Ice Storm in Phoenix, Arizona, where smuggling organizations were ripping each other's off because the smuggled people were worth more money than dope. So they go to the house and rip each other off. They call a relative up and say, I have your brother here. You owe us $25,000. They say, no, we agreed on 10. Well, now it's $25,000. You pay it or I kill him. And they did. That's what you have to show. There's consequences. Because if you send a message, there's no consequences, and you want to reward illegal behavior, that's not going to stop.
Right. And I get all that.
Where's the applause there? How come the audience... See, that's where the applause should have been. The audience at that point should have been like, this is what I hate it so much, man. Like, this is the most basic ass thing in the world. We're getting rid of people that don't belong here. Every single country in the whole world does this. And some places, they're a lot more, let's say, heavy-handed about the consequences of what you're doing. And, man,
if you try to do that in Iran, they'll just I mean, if you're lucky, they'll just put you in jail for the rest of your life.
Yeah, if you're, well, I don't know. I
Or
mean,
like-
lucky. Yeah, it depends how you look at that. Even, but yeah, I mean, it's not
Yeah,
what
good
happens
point.
here, and I don't know what they're thinking, but I mean, to his point, it's like if you're going after bad people, and to me, like quote unquote collateral damage, right? Someone else is nearby or whatever, but they also are a criminal. Like if the police went to raid some place that they knew a criminal was at, and there were other criminals besides the one that they were going to get, what, they're just they're gonna get all of them. Like, what? It's the same, and it's so obvious. It's like, how am I even gotta explain this? If you got a bunch of criminals, you're gonna get them all. Like, why wouldn't you get them? If you didn't, wouldn't that be what you have to explain to the people? Like, hey, all these criminals were here and you only got one of them, but there were 6. And they were all right there. Why didn't you grab them all? Like, isn't that the thing that should come into question? Isn't that the thing that should be like, that should be that it does not compute. Where's my spinner? You know, like, not, oh, why are you arrested all these people? No, that was just a rant. The thing is, they use physical force to snatch citizens, even if they release them later. I mean, I'd be happy to see like an example of that, but if you're a citizen, and what would cause them to use physical force to snatch you, for instance, like, unless you're doing something crazy, because, and like, there's a line, I guess, but when we have a crisis like this, at some point, if the police is like, hey, I just need to verify that you are not a criminal, let's go.
Responding
let's fucking go. Isn't it easier just to be like, look,
Twitch,
let's go. Yeah, Twitch.
And I just put it in there, but if that happened, like if I was like shopping at Home Depot and like ICE descended on it at that moment and like grabbed everyone, right? You know, I mean, it's a Home Depot, so you got people who work there and shoppers and whatever. But I mean, I'm just saying, I would think that they would check your ID, and if you have a proper ID, which I think you're legally bound to carry, if I'm not mistaken, I think we're supposed to carry.
I think
ID
some
as
states
adults.
require it, some don't.
Right. Some states are different than others, but in general, most states require it. And most people have at least a state ID, if not a driver's license on them. Because you never know when you want a beer, right? So then they'd be like, okay, you're good to go. You're a citizen, no problem. Like, you have a driver's license. You need to be a citizen to have that. Or you have your green card on you, or whatever it is that you have to carry as a non-citizen resident, or whatever status may be. I mean, if you're here with permission, you're here with permission. They're not looking for those people. In fact, they'd be happy if all those people just stayed out of the way and just let them, you know.
Yeah, and honestly, just make it easier. Just
here
you
without
go.
documentation. It's, you know. But if you're standing there and you don't have ID and you say I'm a citizen, but I can't prove it, then of course they're going to take you in till they're sure, right? And they don't have time to verify you on the spot, so you're going to be taken in. You're going to be detained, and that's going to ruin your day, and that would suck. And I agree, but hopefully you carry ID and they don't give you a hard time about it being fake or something. Because I'm not saying as law enforcement can't abuse their authority. That's unfortunately, that's human nature. That'll always happen. But
yeah,
I don't think as like in the course of action, like is part of their what we're doing today that has anything to do with detaining actual citizens.
Yeah, I mean, there's no benefit to that. There's like there's
none at all.
There's
In
no
fact,
benefit.
it would be
beneficial
completely
outcome.
the opposite, because
Yeah,
then they
there's
would
only
actually
negative.
have reason to protest and like, you know, screw around with them because they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing, which is detaining citizens illegally. And that's not cool. But it's going to happen here and there because you're going to have that one person who's stupid and doesn't have their ID and refuses to, you know, cooperate. So of course they're going to be taken in. But I think most of these things are also done with cooperation of local law enforcement. In most cases that local law enforcement is willing to help, which should be in every case. So that also would help to prevent such infractions from happening.
I do have my ID on me at all times, but I mean, at the end of the day, like it's not a surprise. I think this is like, this is happening. You can make it easier for yourself or you can make it harder for yourself. And it's not like this is like a random, like, oh, we've decided we hate Muslims and now whenever we see a Muslim, we're going to make them present some sort of ID because, XYZ. We have a problem with illegals in the country that shouldn't be here. And we need to deal with it. And when it's done being dealt with, it's done. And this isn't clamping down on anyone who is an actual citizen, right? This is not like, hey, we're forcing citizens to do something unreasonable. We're saying you can help in the effort of getting rid of the people that shouldn't be here by making it easier. Or you can be annoyingly difficult for no effing reason. It's not helping you. It's not helping the police. It's not helping the country. There is no benefit from being belligerent. Yeah, there's no benefit anywhere to not doing that.
It's the opposite if you're trying to convince those people that they should stay. Like, oh, it's your right to stay. You should stay. We'll hide you. Oh, no, that's the exact opposite of helping them, because the best thing for them is to turn themselves in, be like, hey, I'm sorry. Can I come back later? And they'll say yes, as long as you do it legally. But if you don't do that and they force you out, then you're not going to be able to come back, period. So.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, the next escalation is just you go door to door and everybody got to present one at a time.
Right.
And
I need to see your ID.
You go through the whole city.
Or your passport, or your credit card, or whatever it is.
I'm just saying, this is like the progression of things. You can either like get it done this way, or the next level is
live
this.
In a society where
I don't either.
Worry about showing my papers to some official who decides he needs to see them. Like, that's not cool. Like, that's not the country I want to live in at all. And yeah, I want to avoid that at all costs too. Like, that's Nazi Germany type shit. I don't want that. I hope you don't either.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think anyone wants that, but we also have a problem. So we have one problem. We can either let it continue to fester and grow, or we can try and address the problem. And so far, the things that are on the table to address the problem are being rejected without an alternative. And like, not just rejected, but like also obstructed for no reason. Like, there's not a benefit. There's not a benefit in doing this. And this is the piece that like I don't really understand fully. It was like, especially when we start looking at this ICE stuff, like, what is the benefit that you like? What is the positive outcome you're trying to achieve here? Like, at the end of the day, let's say you get what you wanted. What is different now? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand what is even the goal on half this stuff.
In his latest threat to deploy federal troops to U.S. cities, President Trump made this post Saturday morning, directing Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to send troops to, quote, war-ravaged Portland to protect immigration detention facilities he claims are under siege by the anti-fascist movement Antifa, which Trump designated as a domestic terrorist group earlier this week.
The number of necessary troops is 0. In Portland and any other American city. The president will not find lawlessness or violence here.
Portland Mayor Keith Wilson says he's disappointed that old recycled footage is being used to justify sending troops to his city. Last week, Trump told reporters,
have you seen Portland at all? Have you taken a look at what's happening in Portland?
Even all this dishonesty, like, we have live. I watch so much live stuff. As it's happening live. This isn't recycled footage. There's a person standing there at the moment. And then you get people, these dishonest governor or whoever's coming over there taking a video right in the middle of the day when they've cleared out the area to say, oh yeah, clearly there's nothing going on. But as soon as he's not there, magically, and clearly he doesn't know this, that it just becomes a hellhole of violence.
Portland, it's, I mean, this has been going on for years. It's just people out of control and crazy. We're going to stop that very soon.
His comments came just 2 days after Wilson said the city would issue a land use violation against the Trump administration regarding its immigration detention facility in Southwest Portland.
Federal records show that ICE violated its land use conditions of approval 25 times in 10 months by detaining people for more than 12 hours or keeping them overnight. This review was triggered by the federal government's breaking promises to our community regarding the detention of human beings.
Trump first mentioned sending troops to Portland in the beginning of September, following protests outside its ICE facility that began.
Nope. And I don't believe he wouldn't have due process, and I definitely would not do anything to obstruct the police because it's not benefiting anyone. If anything, it's going to make a worse outcome for him.
And over the summer.
This will make him angry.
Portland, Oregon last night, burning to the ground.
This latest move comes just days after a gunman opened fire on an ICE
All right, Bobby, we'll see you soon.
Dallas, Texas, that killed one detainee and injured 2 others. Trump previously sent troops to Los Angeles and Washington, D.C., and has threatened doing so in several left-leaning cities. Candace Cole, Global News, Washington.
I mean, at best, record it and send it in and then prove that it's happening. But to do anything else is just, it doesn't make sense. Like what? You're gonna what? You're gonna beat the police and like what? Scurry off with your friend and like they're not gonna get you.
If that was to happen, you, like collecting information on their behalf would be the best thing to do. In a calm manner, so you don't interfere, so you can't be, charged yourself. Because then you got your own problems to deal with and you don't have time to help your friend out as much. And just make sure you're there is, like, be a witness, like, hey, I know this guy, or yeah, he's not illegal or whatever. Or, go to his house and like get his passport for him or whatever it is. I don't know that he needs.
Yeah, exactly.
But interfering with law enforcement, even if they're in the wrong, I would not recommend ever.
Yeah. Generally, it's not going to lead to good outcomes, and at the end of the day, and believe me, it enrages me as well. Like that's the process, right? Like, unfortunately,
and people in authority who abuse their authority are I definitely should be stopped and prevented from ever abusing said authority again. But getting in their way when these people have, nightsticks and mace and guns and tasers and shit, and there's a bunch of them, and they're already very, nervous about the situation because everyone hates them. It's not going to end well.
Yeah, I think the desperation is because they've been brainwashed into believing like some psycho stuff. Like if you're legitimately a legal citizen, again, they have there's only negative incentive if they mess up. There's zero positive outcomes from a mistake like that.
It's all on them. But if you get violent, then it's on you.
And eventually that actual citizen that gets out and can speak on it, then that becomes a real problem. So, I don't know. Like,
because thank goodness for the First Amendment.
And even that, like, to what extent, right? I think you'd have people like, oh, I got like pulled aside and whatever, or this or that, or like this thing happened, or I was with a bunch of thugs and got swept up with them and for whatever reason didn't have anything I could show the police in X, Y, and Z. Okay, yeah, maybe you had to go through a little bit of annoyance there, but unfortunately, we have a bigger problem. Like your one person of like annoyance just does not outweigh the bigger problem.
Let's get another perspective from on the ground. Let's bring in independent journalist Nick Shirley, who's been out there in front of that ICE facility many, many nights. Nick, thank you for being with us. And I wanted to start off this segment with something that I think is going to shock a lot of our viewers. I watched this on social media the other day. This is you being confronted by an agitator out in front of that ICE building who threatens you with violence.
I don't know how this guy could stay so calm. Like, I could not do what he does.
Listen here.
What are you doing? Why are you so mad? I didn't do anything. You did. What did I do? Walk. I haven't done anything. Walk. Do not come back. Watch out. You come back, I'm gonna smoke you, dude. Really? Yes, really. I'm gonna smash that camera. You have DHS watching you right there, lasered on you. You have a sniper lasered on you right now. I don't give a
So he said that he is going to smoke you if you don't get out of there, and then it looked like DHS snipers came to your rescue. They zeroed in on him and lit him up with one of their lasers. That's what eventually got him to back down. But for people who say that there's not violence going on in front of these facilities, what do you say?
It's a complete lie.
Do you have any links to any of this stuff? Like I said, I'm happy to pull anything up, but I mean, frankly, I don't believe it. And how could an actual citizen not prove who they were within some crazy time period that they're just starved for like however long? Like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, but you know, if you have something, we're glad to look into it.
Lots of violence going on. That's just one of the many threats I got that night. And when I was walking back to my car, another person pulled out their gun and threatened me, saying, "You want to be Kirk Jr.?" I mean, these people are very dangerous and they're unhinged. Just the other night, a woman got beat up. She got punched in the face out there, and you're seeing it. These people they think they can get away with anything. They've been out there for over 100 days yelling.
Gotcha.
100 days? Jeez.
The ICE and the ICE are all on their own out there.
Yeah, you know.
The police won't do anything, and this woman got her face like bashed in by a signpost, and she went she tracked the bitch down, flagged over a police officer, was like, this woman like broke my face, like you could see her face is smashed to pieces, and the police just wouldn't do anything. And I mean, at that point,
Portland?
Yeah, at that point, I'd follow that person. I mean, frankly, you know, at that, you know, you tried to go to the police.
It's like, okay, well, I guess if they did it to me and nothing happened, and I guess I can do it to them and nothing will happen.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if that's the rules, I mean,
baby.
That's exactly. I mean, if that's the rules, fine. Like, I didn't know that was the rules, right. But since it is,
apparently
okay.
In Portland, it is. It's basically every man for himself. Do what you want.
So, and that bitch was a tiny little fat chick or something, and man, and she's, oh, I'm a minor, blah blah blah, yelling at the police and running off like a scared little bitch. I'd have followed that. Oh man, that person would have been deleted. Oh my
I'm
god!
so surprised that not more people have been shot over this kind of crap.
I know. I'm wondering, what are the gun laws in Utah?
Like people protecting themselves kind of shooting. Like, okay, this person came at me with a big metal pole, regardless if a flag was attached to it or not. I'm going to shoot him. Like, you know, I'm not going to let her do it again. I mean, I'm not, but I mean, there's a lot of people out there who would, and I'm surprised it hasn't happened more. Or it is, and we're just not hearing about it for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised over this weekend there wasn't.
And especially when it's happening in places like Texas and stuff. It's like, I mean, I'm not saying ICE should be shooting people. I mean, they have tasers and tear gas and all the kinds of fun stuff that you can use on crowds that don't kill them or hurt them considerably. But just the average citizen getting attacked because of political views or because of a shirt they're wearing.
And this isn't even,
right?
So these are journalists. She's a journalist just videotaping what's happening.
Like, he's just minding his own, well, I mean, he's not minding his own business in the sense he is reporting on what's going on, but I don't think he's like holding up signs one way or another.
And he'll ask people, he'll just ask people, what are they doing?
I'm recording it. Like, that's it. Like, why would people threaten?
I mean, they're out here in the public protesting, and he's here like, hey, what are you doing? Tell me about what you're doing.
Yeah, usually
because you clearly want people to know. Exactly, you clearly have things to say. Why are you out here otherwise?
Right.
And you get violent. They just get violent like immediately. It's crazy.
Makes no sense.
We heard that.
If anything, they should be really grateful that someone's there, like recording them and willing to put their words up.
Yeah, there's someone's willing to spread their message.
I'll tell it. You know, I'll let you tell it to the rest of the world. I might comment on it, but you know,
yeah,
that's the price to pay.
I mean, if it's such a good message, it shouldn't matter, right?
Right. Yeah. If the message is good enough, it speaks for itself.
that Bill Melugin was talking to a moment ago, saying that Portland police aren't responding. I don't know if this is the woman to whom you were referring just a moment ago, but another reporter was out there, and she says that she got assaulted. Listen to her story.
Last night I got assaulted, and I immediately ran
Look at this lady.
Portland
Holy
police
moly.
officer, hunted down the suspect, chased her through the streets. Portland police refused to come in and make an arrest. Imagine my anger when I go online after doing all of that about an hour ago, and I see Portland police put out a bolo asking for the public's help in identifying my assault suspect.
So she says that she had the person in her sights, but the Portland police wouldn't respond. But later on, they said, "Oh, help us find this person." Is that typical of what you're seeing there?
Yeah, the police are
guess
not
she did it more than once.
intervening to help the people out there if they're reacting after the fact that it's happened. And you have the governor who was marching with these people just hours before their big rally they just recently had, and the police, they're not there. They're nowhere to be found. They're not there to protect any of the reporters or to protect anybody. And it's just,
You see how hard they smash this guy?
just recently had, and
Did they not show it? Oh, there we go.
Hours before
Bam!
their big rally.
Oh, yeah.
And the police, they're not there. They're nowhere to be found.
Oh, look how sad he is. Oh, this big baby. He's such a big man.
It is literally lawless in that section of Portland, Oregon.
So why aren't the police responding? Are they just basically saying this is a hands-off situation, you're on your own?
From what I understand is that the governor there and the mayor, they've pretty much sided with Antifa, saying that they have the right to be there and that there's nothing wrong that's happening. But you're seeing people get assaulted, and if you go there and they think you're the opposition, you'll have a mob of people all dressed in black come after you. And just like we saw,
I
in the video, one
think
guy said he wanted to smoke me.
The
Basically said he
president
wanted to shoot
should
me, kill
send
me.
the National Guard to go help
So we've
ICE.
got dueling narratives here. Here's what President Trump wrote.
DHS showed up with helicopters with snipers
even
on them.
better. Holy moly. Oh, okay. Yeah, you mentioned that. They mentioned that earlier. He mentioned that earlier.
Yep. We're not fucking around.
Yeah, that's kind of a no-nonsense. I mean, the National Guard, they're just going to follow orders, but DHS are agents. They're trained to think for themselves.
They will put you down if they need to. And, I mean, he authorized full force. I mean, they could shoot these people.
Yep.
On Truth Social on Wednesday. He said, quote, "The governor of Oregon must be living in a dream world. Portland is a never-ending disaster. Many people have been badly hurt and even killed. It's run like a third world country." And then here's what the Oregon governor, Tina Kotek, says. Listen to this.
There is no insurrection. There is no threat to national security, and there is no need for military troops in our major city. Military service members should be dedicated to real emergencies. They are not needed here.
So out of those two narratives, who's right?
Yeah, President Trump's right in saying that there is lawlessness there, and she's lying. The governor is. You just see the videos that you're seeing here on the screen. She's completely lying about what's happening. And yeah, maybe there's parts of Portland that are safe, but you have a major issue.
And look at these people. Look at these fucking psychos. They're walking up on them as if they're driving them away with their overwhelming force, as if these guys don't just have something better to do anyway. And they're like, it's like you're trying to feel so tough, like you're doing something besides being completely obnoxious losers that also are violent.
Going on, and you have residents that are living in those apartment buildings right next door that have been pleading for help, and the police are nowhere to be found, and are living there. I don't know how they're making money because they've been out there for over 100 days, and it's just simple. There needs to be some sort of police presence there, but they will not even send the.
Yeah, where are they getting their money?
Out there for a long time, doing your
100 days.
Yeah, they're not organized supposedly, but they got like all this stuff that seems like they'd have to be organized. You know, they had like a food buffet for anyone who was Antifa. Like, who bought that? You guys like throw in like you get pass around a can and see who throws money in? Yeah, right. They're a bunch of broke ass losers. They ain't got nothing.
And the forensic accountants will figure it out. Follow the money.
I don't understand how it's so complicated.
Like
I don't literally,
if the IRS can track down every friggin' penny you earn, I don't understand how they can't figure out where people are getting their money from.
I know it's because they don't want to. That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I mean, even with
it's kind of a
Antifa, you
rhetorical
put
question, I
you
guess.
send a couple
It's like,
psychos in there and you ask them
this
like,
is
"Hey,
weird."
what's going on?" You know, get the inside scoop. Like, where did all this stuff come from? Like, just ask some people. Someone knows. And eventually, if you get to the guy who won't tell you, then you know he's the one you got to get.
We need to get some undercovers in there to be like, "Hey, I want to be a liberal activist. How do I get paid?"
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Activists, and eventually someone will be like, "Yeah, you talk to this guy."
At some point,
And
you'll
then
get
they put you
paid,
on the
and there you
payroll.
go. Now you got the chain of events. There you go. I don't know. It's really not that complicated. They're either building a case, or they're completely retarded, or they're doing it on purpose. Like, I can't really see.
Or, like, you can't find an agent who's like able to pretend to be crazy enough. like their logic, unfortunately, just keeps coming through at these inopportune moments. Shit, they're like, "Dude, you're not one of us."
Oh man, that could be. I was thinking of paying like one of these guys that has like a bunch of weird tats or whatever. Be like, "Can you go infiltrate Antifa and just tell me what's going on?" I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know either. Any idea in terms of how these Antifa people are supporting themselves, that they're being funded, as President Trump is suggesting they are?
I have no idea, because one of these protesters even asked me, she asked if I was a protester, and I said, yeah, sure. She's like, well, we got ribs over there if you want to go eat some. So I don't know how these people are getting their food. There's apparently an apartment that's next door where they have these weird parties. Where
I saw the clip about that guy in the frog house.
It's very strange what's happening. I don't know if it's...
did you hear what he just said though? They rented the apartment building next
Yeah.
door, and they have like orgies all day or something.
Apartment building, and they're just, you know.
That's
Oh my
crazy.
Or if that's what you call it, but somebody needs to take a good look and start interviewing these people. A lot of citizen journalists have figured out who's in control there, and they could launch a full investigation and really get down to the root cause of what's happening, just based off of what some journalists have done.
All right, well, sunshine's the best disinfectant. You're shining light on all of this. Nick, thanks for...
Man.
With a quote. Sunshine is the best disinfectant, and you're shining a light on all this crazy.
Mhm. That's the life that we're in, though, man. It's crazy.
I know.
So this is a clip. I was watching all the Antifa crazy, and you'll see in a second. There's a guy right here is a security for one of the journalists. So there's like an Asian dude right here. And all these Antifas keep getting closer and closer and closer and surrounding him. And they're on, literally, they're all surrounding him.
What is he doing?
He's just standing there.
nothing? Just standing there?
He's the security for one of the journalists. And
Oh, a security guy. Oh.
yeah, so
Gotcha.
they're trying to like goat him into doing something, I guess. And so they're like right up in his face. This fat bitch has like a megaphone and is like just saying psycho shit to everyone. That one of these guys has like a stick, like some sort of pole, and
Just
there's
carrying
like
a stick around.
a
Okay.
giant black guy like right behind him that looks like he's gonna do some crazy shit. And I thought this was gonna spark something, so I clipped it.
This is PDX 67.
So that's the Asian dude right there.
Thank you, Matt, for everything you do. Appreciate it. We got a fellow Portlander.
Now this guy actually steps up into his face now, so now he's getting up in his face.
Portlander, but PDX in the name.
He pushes him back and deploys a baton. And now this lady is going to try and grab that away from him.
It's one of my lifelong missions here to flip Oregon red. You guys think I can do it someday? I'm young still. I've got time. Whoa, hold up. They're fighting. We're gonna make Oregon red someday. They're a little bit agitated here, though.
Grab somebody's weapon. You gotta go to jail. No, he's not. She grabbed his weapon.
So I'm surprised that didn't escalate faster, but effectively that was like the first kind of physical thing. And then there was another one. They were chasing one of these other guys and like threw his camera on the ground and were like harassing him. And there was another couple guys got into a fist fight. And I don't know, one of the guys may have got killed actually, but He got knocked completely out and went limp. And just all kind of stuff. Like, and they're trying to say, yeah, nothing's happening, but I mean, we got eyes, you know. We're doing real good on time. I'm surprised. We're just flying through. Normally we're a bit slower, but moving on from
we
here.
We haven't had as many interactions yet today. I think it's possibly because we.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Leo couldn't actually find anything to support what they were talking about. Yeah, I really struggle with some things, like.
Yeah, you hear these things, and then it's like, really, I mean, it's possible, but
yeah, it's possible, but what would what would be the
evidence? So
point
it's like,
of it?
Okay, well, or they give you evidence, and it's like, well, this is a clip from like 15 years ago,
or just
really
someone said something
anymore,
right?
Know,
just like okay,
yeah, right. It's or it's hearsay, so it's like.
So I don't know. I mean, if it's happening,
when we're talking about things, we have the video. And although a video can be edited, like you said, you at least are often watching things live. So
yeah, I mean, if you got all these people, if you can take the time to throw a boulder at an ice car, you could also take the time to record it and say, look, this is what's happening. And then like correlate that back. Like this is who that person is when they got taken. Like they could very easily build with video evidence that this is happening. If it's like so prevalent.
Yeah.
Like how do we have video of everything else except that?
Yeah. I never see. All I see is angry people in masks burning cars and throwing things.
You can be sure as shit if you're an American citizen and ICE takes you and starves you and does all this crazy shit that you're not going to just be like, oh, it's fine. You're going to be like, the fuck's going on? And you're going to be you're going to be noisy about it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not going to just be I don't know, man. But again, I don't know. Maybe they'll come back and have something for us, but I just that's a little too wild for me. So that's the ICE stuff. So Portland and Chicago actually, they sent guards to both. It was less violent than I thought it would be, but apparently Antifa, like we saw in the other video last week, sent out like a all hands on deck. We need everyone to show up this weekend, blah, blah, blah. And then frankly, it was like the most pitiful turnout of rejects, but you know, they're standing for something, but I seriously hope every single one of them gets arrested for terrorism.
This is the first viral dose of reality this leftist has ever had, and it hit hard.
You don't remember me at all? Steven Crowder at all? No, not familiar?
Oh man, I hope he does this to everybody. I hope Crowder just comes unhinged and goes after everyone.
This is you threatening to slash my tires here?
Oh my god, dude.
Remember this?
Trying to work.
Let me ask you, why do you think it's okay to threaten to slash someone's tires?
Hey, I didn't, dude.
I'm a conservative who has a difference of opinion from you, and I've never threatened actions of violence. I've never threatened to slash anyone's tires.
You need to get out, or we're gonna call the police.
You know what? Let's call the police officers. Because, as a matter of fact, we actually have. No. Actually, I would like to speak with the police. We're about to file a report very soon. This is a part of being a man, is owning up to the actions here. Violence against someone. Your actions.
Probably the first time you ever heard that.
Yep, part of being a man, little man. He's trying to say, oh, I'm trying to work. Well, guess what? That guy was trying to have a life before you fucking terrorized him and you know,
This is the
literally acted out of terrorism. Like you were a terrorist. But that's not a problem. But, oh, you got to work right now, so let's not talk about this.
Man, make your coffee. Gotta make coffee for people.
I hope he comes completely unhinged and just goes after everyone. Oh my god, I would love it'd be like the Catch a Predator or whatever, but like to catch a liberal. I swear to God. Well, I think that would be the #1 show in America.
That would be awesome. That
It would
be a great
instantly
show.
be an all-time like there's no way. Holy crap. This dumb bitch. I don't know. Again, with the hair, like, is this natural? Is this a wig? Is this like a hybrid? Like, because you're an Oreo, this is how your hair comes out? Like, I don't know.
Black students were lynched on campus.
Violent things happened after he died. Yeah, don't look like you're
Black students were lynched on a campus.
Yeah.
So notice these
Black
liberals.
students were lynched on campus.
Mm-hmm. Except that's not true, and all of
where'd
these.
you get your information?
Yeah, and we'll talk about
Did you
that in a
just make
second.
that up?
But no,
Some boy you were sleeping with tell you that.
They missed.
He believed him.
Yeah, they twisted something else that happened. But effectively, all these people are so confident, and this black person is like almost happy. Like if you look, she's like, "Oh yeah, this happened," and she's like laughing to like. And remember earlier when we talked about like that stupid, what's his name, Lucas or whoever? He was like, "Oh well, they're gonna be so happy because a bad thing happened to justify their hate." This is literally actually an instance of that, because this person is actually happy at the thought of someone being lynched.
Is justified
exactly.
By someone. Yeah,
exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
And,
actually,
and anyone tell me that is not. Look at this woman's face, or I don't know. Look at this person's face and tell me that is not true. Tell me that you can honestly look at this person's face and you can't see the happiness of being justified by something terrible, and they're going to try and project that back out. That is fucking insanity. And we're going to back this up a second just so everyone can see an unpaused view of this woman's face as she is so happy to proclaim that this false thing, by the way, but claim this thing to be true because it justifies her hate.
Black students were lynched on campus. Violent things happened after he died. Yeah, don't look like you're. Don't look at me.
Black students were lynched on a campus.
Yeah, there were people hung from trees on campuses. So maybe read the news.
So let me just get this straight. Blacks.
And she's so like confident and like condescending and just so nasty. The person hung themselves.
Leod's back. Oh, they
Hello.
hung themselves. Okay, so yeah, that's not the same as being lynched. Although the results are similar.
The results are
is very
similar.
similar. I mean, the actions are very different.
Yeah, the whole path
The
of getting
purpose
there.
behind
Yeah.
it is incredibly different.
Yeah, and doesn't justify your hatred. You know, like this person self-deleted and they're going to try and twist it. And that's what I'm saying. They'll take something, twist it, and even though it's like
and run with it,
some sort of
and they're
terrible
happy
thing.
to believe it too, because like you said, it justifies their belief system.
Mm-hmm.
It happens to be filled with hatred and anger and violence.
I don't get it.
Students were hung from trees after Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
I'm pretty sure it was one.
First of all, that didn't happen.
Person.
Kristen Hawkins. You might disagree with her, but she's a Titan.
Did you see that smile? That's the smile, because I didn't see it the first time. Right here is where it is.
Charlie Kirk was assassinated. What campus did this occur on?
First of all, that didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Kristen Hawkins.
Look.
You might disagree with her, but she's a Titan. She's back on campus. So this student jumps in by claiming Charlie Kirk was a Nazi.
Do you believe my friend Charlie? Do you think he deserved an assassination?
No, he was a Nazi. That's not your country.
That's actually not true.
I'm
What's
say
the proof
something.
that
If there's a single person out there,
And then that
show me.
bitch jumped in. Did you see that? She was talking to someone else, and this psycho just like took over.
Yeah, that I see that a lot too. They don't even respect each other.
Unbelievable.
How Charlie Kirk was a Nazi, I would invite you on to do so.
He literally, he advocated for the death.
Leo, welcome back. We'll check that out in just a second.
Okay, that's not the conversation that I came to have with you.
Yeah, she looks super happy.
Notice what she just said. Because I could defend it, I just don't want to defend it.
Why can't you just say that
Because he's
I
a Nazi.
disagree? So you think he got what he deserved?
Yeah. Hide in the camera. Hide in the camera.
Look at all the students nodding in the background. This is not just a single outlier.
Do you hear what you're saying?
Yeah, I
You
do.
said a father of two.
Oh my god!
got what
Oh
he
my god!
deserved.
Oh my god! A father of two. He wanted his child to carry a baby if they got raped.
And this is important because this is one of the top 2 attacks we're going to see. Watch how she counters it.
Wait, no! Look at me! No! Look at me! Look at me! Look at me!
Oh, I'll look at you.
He said that if his 9-year-old daughter got raped, he would make her carry that baby to term. Is that something you agree with?
Yes. My daughter got raped.
And you can see no one has any response to this. Everyone goes silent here. They don't know what to say.
The most unimaginable tragedy I can imagine. I don't think sexual assault and the conception of a new human being justifies killing a human being. Because that's discrimination, man.
You can disagree with her on what a human life is, but you can't argue that she's not being logically consistent here.
I'm against the death penalty in all cases. And why would I ascribe the death penalty to a child in the
Okay, that's great. That's wonderful.
Well, you just justified. You just said that my friend got what he deserved. I want you to back that
So they're talking about, she's saying, did Charlie Kirk get what he deserved? And the comment was, there was no like riots, the whole city, we didn't burn cities down, etc. And then she's trying to say that a bunch of black people got lynched in response to Charlie Kirk, which is not true. But she seems so confident, and all of these people are so confident. It's not just this one person, and this is the sickness about it, right? This is not like oh, there's this one crazy person. It's pervasive. It's at least pervasive to the point of the people that are here and gathering are all in unison, at least. So either there's like some sort of bias towards like, the people here for some reason. And maybe that's true. Like these people are more of like an agitator type of like trying to get into some sort of drama, and that's why they're here, and maybe that's why they're more likely to have this kind of perspective. But they're also, I think we can agree, likely all liberals. I doubt any one of these people is conservative.
It's okay to disagree with that. What's shocking is that is the justification the student is using to claim Charlie Kirk deserved to be murdered.
Yeah, because he was a fucking Nazi who was advocating for violence.
So he was a Nazi because he believed in not taking a human life.
He's not a Nazi. He never advocated for violence. That's purely...
He never advocated for violence?
No.
Can you provide one example of how he was advocating for violence?
How many cities burned after Charlie was assassinated? How many violent things happened? If he was actually
black
advocating
students
violence...
were lynched on campus.
What campus did this occur on? At what college were these students attending?
Violent things happened after you died. Yeah, don't look like you're
Black students were lynched on a campus?
Yeah, there were people hung from trees on campuses.
Campuses, plural. So this has happened on multiple campuses, according to her. And we just need to read the news to find out, okay?
So maybe read the news.
Why would anyone lynch a black person on a campus?
You can choose to raid the caravan.
Yeah, it sucks there's only two options, and there's too many combinations of good and bad. But the problem is, to me, this side is like, any good things that are possibly in the left is like so overshadowed by this psychosis of gender politics, of being happy when people get murdered, of being like just these psychotic, screechy, like harpy, banshee, like psycho individuals. Like the rest, like it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, you'd have to have like, I don't know, like the core thing there would have to be like, I don't even know what you could put there that would counteract all that. So it's like, unfortunately, it keeps getting worse, honestly. And the more and more and more radical, and the more and more extreme, and the more and more just closed-mindedness, it's just, it pollutes everything. Now you got one side that's so just like toxically extreme, and the other side that's now diluted in its values just because the people that would have supported that just can't be that toxic anymore or that extreme anymore. And they have nowhere else to go, but they don't fit in over here. So the whole thing is like falling apart. But I honestly, I think to an extent there's an intentional divide. There's a wedge being placed in a whole bunch of spots that is leading to an elite, like a super elite tier class of people and everybody else. And it's not just one thing that's leading to it. It's a lot of things, but this is not helping it. This division.
It's those really, really, really obscenely rich people who want to stay insanely rich and keep anyone else from joining their club. That's what I think.
I think to an extent it's that, but to an extent it's how
it's not all
like,
of them, but it's a lot of them.
I think there's the reverse ideal too, though. It's like, how do you create a population of people that couldn't anyways, right? That could never anyways generate wealth because they're like, their mind was polluted early or something like.
Yeah.
But
we're
in order
building that generation now. Starting to, anyway.
No, it's already like well built. Like it's not. This isn't in the starting phases. This is
Good point. Yeah, it's well in full swing now. That's a good point.
Yep, it's entering.
And there's a big push to go to more extreme measures of, I don't want to work, I don't want to earn, I don't want to, succeed. I just want to have you give me. I want the government to give me. I want the government to do it, so I don't have to. Put all my trust in the government, and I'll let them take away my guns, and I'll still trust them for some reason.
And I think actually we're going to bring this in because I think they are causing this problem too with ICE on purpose. Because frankly,
I can see that to a degree too.
If they would just cooperate, like a lot of the things that they would have to do would not be this, right? So now you're starting in bad faith. You're starting in a position of like opposition and tension, and it's how do you expect good outcomes?
Well, it's a constant cycle of complaining but having no solutions.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and
so,
not
like right
cooperating.
Now, like our government, our president, and the vast majority of the population who are like sane have started to go more right, more conservative is really what it is, because the other side of things is trying to change things so fast, but without having any real sense of the outcome, like the repercussions. They only care about like the illegal immigrants thing, and to the degree that it gives them something to complain and yell about and be violent against, but they don't have like a solution in place to prevent it from happening in the first place.
They're getting in the way of the solution that could be,
and getting in the way of the solution, right? The best thing they would do is stay out of the way or help the process to guide it in a way that more benefits their outlook. Like if it's their problem is like how people are being treated, like that's not the same issue as the fact that we're deporting people who shouldn't be here, right? Taking them and putting them in facilities and deporting them back to their countries of origin, that's what we're doing, period. Like you getting in the way isn't helping that, and it's not going to stop it from happening. But what you could do is become involved in the process to the degree where, hey, you are now part of the decision-making process, and you can say, look, grabbing people and putting them and taking them back or sending them back to their country of origin, we're doing that, but we can do it in a humane way. We can feed them and make them comfortable during the process, and we can also make sure we're not making mistakes like grabbing actual citizens and detaining them for any period longer than they absolutely have to be. And we can do that much more efficiently if we have help from everyone, including the local authorities and et cetera, et cetera. But hindering that process only makes it worse. Especially on the people that it's, the people who are the objective is on. It's the objective is on those people who are here illegally. How we treat them depends greatly on how we treat each other. So, I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah. And what I'm saying about, should there be more than two parties? What I'm saying is there shouldn't just be a third party that fractures one of the parties, because then that's not helpful. But if there was a way to have like more options on a diverse, smaller category of things, right? Like the way that I think government should spend money on military might be different than how I view how it should spend on healthcare, which might be different than how I think it should incentivize families, which, right, there's a bunch of things. And to say that like one of two combinations reflects what people actually feel is not right. But to just have a third also probably isn't right. But if it was like, instead of having just these like overarching authorities, maybe it's better split up to represent a different like social hierarchy of like, we need different representation for different types of things, and maybe how people feel on some things groups together well and how they feel on others doesn't. And we need to be able to account for things like that, which I don't think we do, because the representative represents on all the topics, and you only have one. And what happens, right? So now you get whatever that combination is, but if we had, and I hate the idea of more representation, but at least from a federal standpoint, we should be governing less things, but maybe the things that we do govern, we govern them more intelligently around the different views of how people actually feel about those things. Absolutely. And I think that would, to a large extent, minimize or eliminate and this might be why they don't do it, because when you have two sides, it's us and them. When you have a collection of sides where you're like a mixed bag of like, oh, on this thing I'm over here, on this thing I'm here, on this, and it's normal, not like, oh, I'm a libertarian or I'm a this or that, like some nuanced, like weird thing.
Right. Part of my identity.
Then it's no longer us against them. It's like, this is my unique perspective on all these different things, and I can see your perspective on all these different things, and we have an overlap here, here, and here, and maybe
I think that's kind of how it was supposed to work in the beginning. It was all about opposing views because we have such a big nation of people from very different backgrounds that you're never going to agree on everything. Not everyone is going to agree.
Yeah.
Like, this is not going to happen. So compromise is really the way to go. And the best way to get to a good compromise is by having different opinions and viewpoints. But it takes time. That's the downside. And these days, people want everything so fast, like instant. Like, I want it changed now. Like, I want everything now. But to really change government, to change how things work for the better, and it takes time and effort. And there's a lot of people out there who don't want to put in the time or the effort. They just want the results.
You actually got to put in the effort in the right way, not screeching and doing this or that. You got to go through the painful ass process of getting involved and like changing it.
Yeah. And if you don't want to get involved and you just want to let other people take care of it for you, that's fine. Then shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you don't get to complain. Exactly.
Shut the fuck up. It's all we're asking. Mind your own damn business and shut the hell up and do your own thing and let everyone else who's an adult take care of this other crap.
Let the adults do it. Yeah. I'm telling you, man. But I think that's the problem. We need less and more government at the same time. We govern too many things, but the things that we do govern, we don't do it intelligently. So
you'll never make everyone happy.
That's how
the
I
best
feel.
way to go is to err towards caution and keep it less. And I agree. I was younger. I thought, the government was the government. There's nothing I could do about that. As I get older, I realize that things can change. And right now they're changing for the worse. And I encourage people to try to make things better without just yelling about things.
Roll back time.
And don't just be angry about something because Big Daddy Trump said it. And you're doing the opposite because you just don't like Orange Man. Because Orange Man bad.
Orange Man.
It's not a good reason. That's a very immature reason to make a decision, in my opinion.
Since Twitch doesn't have a description and stuff, this is Captain Pav and GONxFREAKS. We are part of Team Venture Media. This is our RedNex World News segment.
World News.
We have a lot of fun talking about a bunch of different things, but I would not take anything we say too seriously. We do like to shed light on different news and stuff, but not everything we say we're being serious about.
Yeah. We really like to make fun of Gen Z because we're both slightly older and we have Gen Zers in our life. So, we see things.
Yeah. Gen Z, honestly, my honest opinion.
They confuse me sometimes so much.
I feel bad for them because I think the deck was even more stacked against them than even us. And
my heart goes out to them for sure.
Yeah. But I also feel like they don't help themselves. So I feel like they're getting double whammied.
Reacting to said problems are not very healthy.
Yeah, not at all. And I get it, like whatever, like it's challenging. Everyone has had to go through challenges. Some people have had to live through war. Some people have had to live through depressions, like the Great Depression, whatever. Some people have lived through slavery. To say like, oh, I didn't get to have my prom because of COVID or like this or that. Like, I feel you to an extent, but like that's really, in the grand scheme of things, if that's what's keeping you down in life, you're not going to get very far. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta, and I went to a couple of these graduation speeches or whatever, and it's like, oh, we didn't get to see our friends for 2 years, and we didn't know what was going to happen, and this and that. Well, guess what? The whole world also, by the way, was affected. Like, there was nothing particularly unique or special about you being affected. So, I don't know.
I would say their way of reacting in general is kind of a like a nihilistic giving up because there's no point in trying kind of a perspective that we tend to see a lot from Gen Z, which is a little sad and depressing, but we encourage Gen Zers to not think that way because there are ways of improving your life in this wonderful nation that we call the United States of America.
And I think the lack of self-reflection,
a land of opportunity.
Like, they can't see, like, they're like, oh, we grew up with technology, we have all the tools to do everything, this and that, but they literally,
they can't be bothered to type it into Google. What the?
And they have no critical thinking. They can't communicate. The blank stares, the just disrespect. Like, who, you have no life experience, but you want, like, I feel like every generation to an extent has that. Like, the older people don't know or whatever, but the level is just astounding. And then they have literally no accomplishment to stand on.
It's weird though too, because like, in general, I've found them to actually be pretty intelligent. Like, they're smart. They're not dumb. But they don't try. And they just say, I can't do it because. And then it's some excuse. Like, that's kind of just a generalized opinion I have of Gen Z. Not specific.
Yeah.
And it's because we watch a lot of stuff on Gen Z on YouTube, which just kind of puts me to a biased opinion. We're seeing the worst of them on YouTube.
I don't know. I think that's a sampling. That's the average sampling. I don't think that's the outlier. I mean, it could be wrong, but
I hope it. I don't know.
I've been to the
feel
fair.
Like, I need to stop watching so much YouTube about Gen Z because I'm starting to think they're just a bunch of losers. Like, I don't think that's true.
Yeah. We're happy to hear your perspective on any of these topics. But I know I'm to an extent trolling, but to an extent not. Like, there's at least a grain of truth in everything that we've said, I would say.
Yes, I agree.
This doesn't even make logical sense.
That's such a good question. No, and that's such a good question.
And that's wrong. First of all, that didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Kitty.
It didn't. So that's why this video is worth making, because this is like another level of insanity.
Did not happen. Just like how Charlie wasn't a Nazi.
So the students start scrambling, trying to Google on their phones to back this up.
Just like how Charlie didn't advocate for violence.
Let's see if they do.
All human beings have unique value and right to life. They're all valuable.
Do any of them tell her she's wrong?
Find anything.
And any time period of our human history has always been wrong.
Just think about how cognitively lost you have to be to believe stories like that without any evidence to back them.
Even though it was allowed in many of our states, it's always been wrong. Because our legality does not make our morality.
I guess she just has nothing. I guess that was it. She wasn't able to back it up. She wasn't able to show any evidence. I can understand if you disagree on the specific example. It's a challenging one. But look when she talks about the other 97%. So let's rewind 2 weeks. Kristen is on a campus.
Why wouldn't she work?
And honestly, that's what I'm saying. I think there's a chasm. The 10%, there's still 10%, even with Gen Z, that are on the right side. And 10% is actually bigger than I would have expected for like an elite super class, honestly. But the 10% is a combination of the child not being completely unmotivated, but also the parent not completely falling into every trap of like Cocomelon and like screens and like letting the kids just be monsters. Really, it's like some of the things, and I don't have kids, so I'm looking in the bubble from outside. So these are my observations, not like lived experience necessarily all the way, outside of like obviously interactions I've had with Gen Z. But you know, there is a sliver, and if you fall into that sliver and you don't fuck it up in the next stage, meaning as you transition into adulthood and actually realize that life is probably different than what you've been told in school, and the sooner you figure out the actual rules of the game, the better, because that chasm is growing. And I don't know if it's going to shrink from 10%, but I do know it is going to be extremely hard, if not impossible, if you're on the wrong side to get to the other side. Right? When I was growing up, it was still feasible. You could just work hard and be on that side. That is, I don't believe that's the case anymore. You cannot just work hard and get there.
No.
It has to be a combination of things.
That's what, starting with millennials, but really Gen Z has been facing, is you can't really succeed just by working. You have to figure things out and do something a little different, thinking outside the box, and then being in a position where you can take advantage of things like the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to save enough money by just surviving on a friggin' 9 to 5 these days. They don't pay you well enough, and everything costs way too much. There's just, I mean, saving, like really saving, like good luck. At best, you might have a short-term, lump of money that you can use in emergencies, but it's guaranteed to get used up as soon as your car needs repairs or your dog needs to go to the vet. So, like, that's what most people feel like they're getting ahead. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. The way it's supposed to be is you constantly saving at least a little bit, so that over time, by the time you get to be, in your, you say your late 40s, you're able to use that to then invest. Right?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you have the only way, you have to get into the stock market. There's zero chance, or you have to be like an extremely high. Yeah, being a business owner could be another option.
That also takes capital. Like, you have to start with money to make a
or
business.
You convince someone.
You can get the loans, but I mean, even that's going to be really hard work, because you either have to convince people to invest in you and take the risk, or you got to go to the bank and you got to have the good credit and the whatever collateral to back up your loan. And you're not doing that without first succeeding, right? So, yeah, there's a hump. It's really hard to get over now, which I think in the past was not nearly so hard, especially when, like, in the 1950s or 60s, you could literally be a high school janitor and make a very comfortable living for yourself. Like, good luck doing that now. I mean, you're probably making minimum wage, which is definitely not enough to, thrive on. So, I don't know. It's tough.
What I'm saying in the math and reading and everything, what I'm saying is this Captain Pav, moving D&D props. Oh my God. I'm going to have to learn more about that from you, Ziggy. But
Captain Pav, I love D&D. Let's do that.
Yeah, we should talk more about that. But when I'm talking about math and reading, kids these days, we covered this in a few episodes ago, but the reading comprehension has how do I phrase this? The bottom quartile of readers has increased by 100%, meaning it went from 10 to 20% effectively. And that just means reading at a basic, like, I can read words. And then the next level is I can read the words and know what they mean. So we've had a doubling in the number of people that can't read, period, and an increase in the number of people who can, they know what the word is, they can't actually determine in a thought how these words come together, and then let alone how the different sentences form a more cohesive thought. So reading comprehension in general is getting worse. When I say math,
that's scary.
You may have learned math, but I'm assuming you guys were using calculators at a much earlier age. For instance, I don't know if you know this game, Gin Rummy.
Gin Rummy.
It's effectively cards in a row. So if you have like 5, 6, 7 of hearts, that's a run. If you have like 10, 10, 10 of different suits, that's a set. And in one of the games, you have to start with 30 to play. 30 points. So 10, 10, 10 would be 30. I was playing with a Gen Z who had 10, 11, 12, and they needed to use a calculator to determine if that was more than 30. So while, you might know how to type 10 plus 11 plus 12 into a calculator.
Yeah,
the fact that you can't see
I can
three
do
numbers that are more than 10 and instantly in your head, this is what I'm saying.
It's going to be more than 30.
Like I can divide fractions, like 2 fractions, I can divide them in my head. That's what I mean by learning math. Like I know calculus, I know different statistical analysis. Like I know math like extremely well, like definitely better than most people, but I don't think kids even have the most basic comprehension to look at numbers and understand like things that they should be able to very quickly do in their brain. They can't do it. And even though maybe, yeah, they've learned how to use a calculator to do it, what I'm saying is it's not ingrained into their critical thinking. And I think there's a loss there. Like it just keeps getting worse because then when a computer gives you an answer, you have no idea to even challenge it. And recently I was using Grok to do some financial planning and this and that. And it gave me wrong ass answers, but like confidently, it was like, oh, this is the best way to do this. And it was like so wrong. And I could look at it like right away and be like, Grok, like this is obviously wrong to me.
I would be broke.
Exactly. And then it's like someone who doesn't have that instant reflex would just take it and be like, oh, well, a computer said this is the answer. It's like, oh no, that's where we have this huge problem. It's like that fundamental, like it's more than just, oh, I type the prompt into the AI and spit out a result. And even that I've seen, like I've had younger people that's kind of the extent of where they can go. And it's like, oh my God.
Why won't I work with you on that 97%?
Yes.
Something happens. She looks down at her phone.
Greg, come here. Greg, hold on for a second.
Oh, it's 5.7%?
Charlie Kirk was just shot on the college campus in Utah.
And I'm showing this because I think it's important for people to see and to not forget. The news cycle moves, events continue.
Did you see what I just saw? Yeah. Is it bad? Fuck. Okay.
We can't forget the reality.
Charlie Kirk was just shot at his campus.
Yeah, I don't want to see this part again. But I don't know. It's just like this kind of like such confidence, just barging in here, making these crazy ass assertions. Like everyone agrees, like this hive mind of poisoned, like just believe what everyone else is saying and just like hop onto the hatred wagon and glorify it. And it's like, oh my God. And this is the output of college, honestly. Like, I have a master's degree, and even, I mean, it was probably still more balanced than this, obviously, but the output of students, especially ones that aren't going into engineering, is just the most garbage level human. Like, they are literally, I think there's probably some that escape decent people still, but the majority of them become just trash.
Like colleges, like the amount of trashy degrees that they offer now is crazy. It's like, you know, by offering this degree that the person who graduates with it is not going to do well in life, and yet you're still like charging them thousands upon thousands of dollars to learn it, like, and convincing them that it's a good idea.
Well, they don't even need to do the convincing. The society's been programmed to do it for them.
They don't stop them. They don't say, well, would you really want to do this? Because you know you're going to be broke and just basically paying the government for your student loans for the rest of your life. But they don't, because they need their money.
Back this up a pinch. I got some links here. I may as well pull this up. Hold on.
People who run colleges, oh my gosh, they must make tons of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need the degree in order to get an interview. That's why they get the degree.
And now I think a lot of that's going away because like people know now that college isn't doing anything good for anyone really.
Actually, the only real way guaranteed to go to schooling and then come out and get a job that actually pays you well is to go into a trade. Because they need people so badly.
And that's what I was talking about last time. We gotta.
So your chances of getting a good job are like 100% upon graduation.
But that's why we have to stop.
You don't even have to pass with A's.
We have to make it
like the best.
Stop glorifying the like intellectual college and then like demeaning trade school. It's like, no, honestly, they should be side by side. Like, are you better with your hands and like mechanically
Better
like
with
doing things.
Or are you better with people? If you're better with people, then you go to these liberal arts colleges that, teaches you humanities and medicine.
They get the degree because society told them they should. And they weren't. They didn't actually, and they couldn't do anything else. That's the problem too. And nobody is preparing them for the real world. And that's why I'm saying, when I'm saying poison, there's in a few ways I'm saying it. One is the lack of actual learning, but two, some of the things that are pushed, like this gender crap. And then three, not addressing the actual things that will make you successful in life.
Yeah.
We don't learn anything useful in school about how do you do finances. How do you budget? Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
how do you just budget? Like, how do you make sure you're not spending more money than you're making every month?
And a real world perspective on what it's like once you're out of school and you have to get a job, and what does that look like? And it's not some magical thing, because I think, you don't know until you go to do it. But if everyone tells you, oh, you're supposed to do this, 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 and this, and then everybody says that's what you're supposed to do, and then you do it because you didn't, you just assumed everybody's saying the same thing.
Right.
Except for crazy old uncle, whatever. Someone
Crazy
over here,
Gen X uncles.
Yep, this one crazy person over here is just telling me maybe to not do that. Everyone else is telling me to, and then you do it, and it's like, shit.
I should have listened to my crazy
It's
uncle.
too late, and you didn't have the
shut up about
experience
Jesus.
because school didn't teach you anything about life. It just taught you a bunch of, like, honestly, indoctrination. and I think in some ways, and we talked about this last time too, like, why do all the kids get grouped together? Like, some people learn one way, some people learn another, some people develop faster than others, and some maybe a little bit later, some, whatever. Why not uncap the kid and say, here, go as far as you can until it becomes challenging? Because as soon as a kid says, hey, school's so easy, you just fucked up, because this is your biggest potential to learn, and you have nothing else going on except learning, and your brain is primed for it, but you're held back.
And also recognizing people's strengths and helping to support and nurture that strength. It's very important. So I think most people who are very successful generally will do what they're good at. And then, but the education system is like more of do whatever you want to do. You can do whatever you feel like you want to do. But that, isn't necessarily helpful.
Yeah.
It certainly wasn't helpful for me. I went to college and ultimately didn't find any value in it, and I stopped, and then I went to trade school, and I got a career immediately after graduating and started being able to pay off my student loans. And then soon after that, I had enough money to buy my own place, and then I had a mortgage, and I was at least able to take care of myself. But I couldn't have done that with my liberal arts degree. If I had stayed in that long term and got a bachelor's, I would have had more debt. Wouldn't have helped my job situation at all.
But that's the thing. That's a big shackle. Once they get you into debt, now you can't do anything. Once you're in debt,
I call it
you're
vocational
screwed.
School, really.
And especially if you're whatever you got into debt for doesn't give you any chance of getting out, right? Like, that's it.
I think the main reason the colleges perpetuate this is because they profit off of it. It's insanely expensive to go to college. So to the point where almost everyone who does it has to get into debt. So you're getting into debt before you even have the capacity to pay that debt back without knowing the results of your efforts until you graduate, and then find out I'm not making nearly as much as I thought I would make.
And everything else is way more expensive.
To have to pay back all of this money to the government who demands their money.
And food is expensive, housing is expensive, subscription services are everywhere. Like, going out is expensive. Literally everything is more expensive than it's ever been, and wages are not going up nearly proportionately. And if you go into debt with something that is not accelerating you faster than that debt is crushing you, all you've done is sentenced yourself to never,
to a lifetime
ever
of
getting
debt.
out. And that's what they want. And And you're
Because once
saying
you're in a lifetime of debt, then you have to go to the government for help.
and they teach this kind of stuff instead of the important stuff because, and again, I don't know if this is it happened or if it was planned, but frankly, I could believe either, honestly, but
I think it might be a little bit of both. Like, I think some of it was a little bit planned, but it was more like taking advantage of the situation.
But this is how you generate an underclass. This is how you generate an underclass in society that becomes like more or less the slave labor because they're uneducated. The things that they are educated on are like things nobody cares about and or rejects, right? Like we just don't care about it. Hold on. The word woke lets me express disdain for something without having to say the bigoted part out loud. I can say that something was woke instead of it had too many gay, Asians, blacks, etc. Did you hear anything I have been saying just now? I believe I am very liberal with my speech and the things that I say, including I don't give a fuck if I offend anybody. But
that part's true.
Yeah, I think honestly, this is generating this gap, and you're going to have a bunch of people that will not be able to do anything except do what they're told. And they're going to be crushed by debt. They will have zero chance to get out of it. They're unmotivated. I don't know. And I'm not saying I agree with any of it. I'm not saying I'm glad for any of it. I'm saying based on my observation of the world and what I see happening, that is the outcome that I foresee. And unfortunately, I think it's true. Now, this is scaring me, so I really want to play this because this looks like some creepy-ass toes or something that are, like, freaking me out. But anyway, this is from our good friend here, Leo, and this is something about teenage U.S. citizen records violent arrest by immigration officers. Hold on, let's see. Kenny Ambrosio, an 18-year-old U.S. citizen, was driving to work in North Palm Beach with his mother and two male friends when they were pulled over. After asking for their details, the officer called for backup. U.S. Border Patrol agents show up, and three male occupants were forcibly pulled from the vehicle and arrested. One of them was put in a chokehold, and the other was tased. All right, so this could be violent, so prepare yourselves.
Okay. Pregunta, ¿quién está aquí legalmente? Si no nos dicen la verdad, le vamos a poner más cargos y van a durar en la cárcel más tiempo. ¿Ok?
Yo.
¿Mande?
Yo estoy ilegalmente.
¿Qué? No lo oigo.
Ilegalmente.
Ok, vámonos. Ahí va. ¿Abre la puerta?
¿Abre la puerta? Vamos a pelar. Wait.
Vamos a salirnos todos.
Wait. Wait, hold up.
Abre la puerta.
Hold up.
Hold up, nothing. What?
You guys have no rights to do that.
We don't have rights to do that?
No. Pero ¿por qué?
Él dice nomás va a quitar la foto, dice.
We know what state this is in?
North Palm Beach, which I'm assuming is Florida.
That's Florida. Okay. Florida.
Wait, get back. You can't grab me like that. You can't grab me like that. Okay. Hey, wait, that's not how you arrest people.
Get on the ground.
That's not how you arrest people.
Get on the ground. Now, on the ground.
All right, but you're not
on the ground.
All right, hold on.
It's hard to tell if they're actually cooperating or
That's
not.
how you arrest people. If y'all gonna arrest people, y'all gotta arrest people regularly.
Right now, he doesn't look like he's complying.
This one, yeah.
Kevin, no resistas. Yeah, no resistas. What am I doing? Hey!
Wow.
Kevin! Hey, y'all get on the ground! Alright, bro. You can't be doing that. I'm from here also.
Get on the ground.
Okay, get on your feet, sir. Get up, roll on your side.
And I noticed it didn't mention about the other two. It said this one is a U.S. citizen. And I'm curious why it wouldn't say all of them
when
are.
when the subtitles, because I don't know Spanish, but the officer asked if any of them are illegal, and if they lie, it'll just be worse for them. And one of them at least said, yes, I'm illegal. So, I mean, this is the situation we were talking about earlier, where you're the one citizen and a bunch of people in a car. I used Home Depot as my example, but a car is actually probably better. And, you know, 3 of the dudes in the car are illegal and 1 isn't, and there's a woman who isn't. Like, I mean...
All right, I need to see that again, just because I didn't actually read the subtitles. But, yeah, I feel like this could... I'm gonna put this in the I don't know right now
situation. That's what I'm kind of saying. Like, if they didn't resist, there wouldn't have been a call for any, you know, putting hands on people.
Okay.
It also wasn't really all that violent. I don't know why that was a disclaimer.
Okay, so this part I genuinely don't know. But you're right. So this person just acknowledged they're illegal, and they said get out of the vehicle, and then they're saying, and then they're not doing it. So this is the part I don't know. I don't know if at that point, I feel like at that point they, I don't know.
Definitely can be detained now. I mean, let's like. Maybe if you hadn't admitted to your illegal status, then
or just get out. At that point, you admitted to it. Get the fuck out and just deal with the consequences.
Right, but that kind of goes back to where we were before. Like, if the law enforcement is determined to detain you, you're going to be detained, and escalating that to violence is only going to be worse for you.
Yeah. If those 2 got out and said we're illegal, the other one got out and said I'm actually legal. I can show you my ID.
Right.
None of this would have even happened.
Right. They would have taken the 2 that were illegal and then let the other 2 on their way and not had to even handcuff them to keep them from, you know, causing trouble.
So hold on. We're going to actually watch the whole thing.
Wait, hold up.
So at this point, there is no hold up.
Yeah. I mean, from what I've seen so far, I don't see anything that's like, I don't see any major issues.
Hold up. Hold up, nothing. What? You guys have no rights to do that.
No rights
to do that. You don't have rights to do that?
No. Yeah. Also, as a citizen, telling the police what they can and can't do doesn't usually go well either. It's best to remain silent. Call your lawyer when you get your phone call.
Wait, get back. You can't grab me like that.
And otherwise, comply.
Grab me like that.
So they don't beat you. That hurts.
Wait, that's not how you arrest people. On the ground. That's not how you arrest.
I assume being tased also hurts like the dickens. It's never happened to me. I hope it never does.
Now, the problem here is we can say, oh, this person is not using violence, so let's wait until he's back in frame. So this guy not using violence, but he is resisting, and I can't tell about his hands. But if he has a gun, like at what point is it fine, right? Because if he pulls out a gun and starts shooting people, that's a problem. So,
right.
If we've already identified, yeah, we have no idea of how fast this can escalate. And frankly, it was as easy as they could have just, because they admitted it, they could have just got out and it could have been simple.
Yep.
After that, now you have to wonder, okay, are they going to try and do something crazy because they've admitted that they are here illegally? And now their incentive, potentially, is to stay here. And what does that mean? You know? But let's see.
How you arrest people.
Yeah, and he's not being violent, but he is definitely resisting.
What y'all doing, bro? Hey, Kevin, no resiste. Yeah, no resiste. What am I doing? Hey!
Yeah, listen to your buddy.
Hey, get on the ground. All right, bro. You can't be doing that. I'm from here also. Get on the ground.
Yeah, and at this point, it's kind of too late to be. Now you're trying to say, okay, now I'm actually a citizen. Okay, well.
Okay, get on your feet, sir. Get up. Roll on your side. Roll on your side. I can't, bro. They gonna push me. They gonna do whatever they were doing to him. No, I'm not gonna get up. I'm not gonna get up. I'ma just stay like this. Bro. Y'all scaring the dude, bro. That's not how you arrest people.
What? Here, I can take care.
I got rights to talk, bro.
You got no rights here.
I do.
Illegal, brother. Get up. I was born and raised here. What about him?
I hate it when police do that kind of shit.
What?
He's a citizen. He has rights.
Yeah, but he didn't know that. I mean,
yep. And as far as you know, he is a citizen until you can prove he's not.
Well, I think the other way around is they've already admitted they admitted that they are not citizens.
Yeah, because the one who admitted he wasn't a citizen, absolutely.
Yeah, you can't just all of a sudden back it up.
It was his, if he didn't want to
And
admit
now-
that, he shouldn't have done it. But he
You're
listened
all-
to the officer's advice and he followed it, which was probably smart. And then he decided not to follow it, which was probably not smart. So
No, you are a citizen to
but
prove
no,
wrong.
I agree
Yes.
with
This
Leo.
isn't-
Yeah, you are a citizen.
You are a citizen to prove wrong. But we've already established there are illegal people. Number one. Number two, he didn't say that until he was already on the ground. Number three, he didn't say that until he was on the ground, and the other person wasn't even near him who said that. So the person who said that genuinely probably didn't even hear it. But even if he did, that's a suspect claim now because you're with these other illegal people.
Also true. So you're potentially guilty by association. Not that you're guilty, but
You're not
because
guilty.
you're associating with that, there's reason to hold you until they know for sure. Just like if you were...
It's called reasonable suspicion. What is the reasonable suspicion? You are with 3 other people that are illegal.
Right.
That's the reasonable suspicion.
Exactly.
That is reasonable.
It's not reasonable to say, oh, you're 4 Latinos in a car, therefore you're illegal, and we're going to pull you over and detain you regardless of what you say.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be, but...
Yeah, that I agree.
Yeah, and I
If
don't know
no
what
one had
prompted the stop, right? I mean...
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe
too.
the
Who
whole
knows?
premise of the stop was wrong, but we don't know. We don't have that information either way.
Right.
More likely it was, as most things happen in the United States, you get caught doing something stupid by doing something else that's stupid. So chances are they had expired tags or they weren't wearing their seatbelts or, it was just something dumb. And then that gave the police reason to pull them over. And that's probable, safety, whatever it might be.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, this is... In this case, I really don't feel that bad, to be honest. It's not the greatest outcome for someone, but it also wasn't that terrible of an outcome. He wasn't starved in the detention center, or I guess let's find out. Maybe there's more of this.
Once she got that proper spread on him, he was gone. You're funny, bro. It's funny because shit.
Sometimes it's hard. It's hard to see.
But I imagine this was quickly cleared up.
We're gonna end up shooting someone. If you keep going like this, they're gonna start fighting.
It was more like just a stressful arrest situation. Or
I mean,
kinda
I
how
imagine at the end
described
of the
this.
day, he got to present his ID, and maybe he got some sort of, I don't know if they would charge him for anything because he seemed overall fairly reasonable. But.
Yeah, the person who was sitting didn't seem to be causing any troubles for them. If he's a citizen, he has ID.
I mean, honestly, if I
Should be a
saw
problem.
this, if I was on the jury, I'd be like, man, not guilty.
Yeah.
I mean, if I got detained and I didn't have ID and they took me in because I didn't have ID, I'd be like, well, that sucks, but it's my own fault for not having my ID with me.
That's what we take.
Yeah, and I mean, I know my social, I know my driver's license
Right,
number.
same.
I know all my stuff by heart. I can give all the.
Actually,
info.
I don't know my DL number by heart. I should, but
Yeah, so I don't know. Overall, I would say if we have more of this or more, maybe obvious examples of something actually kind of fucked up, to me, this is very.
it's neutral. It's
I'm glad you brought it up. At
Cops
least
could have been a little more polite about it, but they usually are until you give them a reason not to be, and then they just aren't. And it's not about, I'm sorry. It's like, look, you cause them problems. They're going to cause you problems because they can. And they deal with stupid shit every day, all day. And it's got to be stressful as hell. Yeah. So you got to see it from their perspective too. And they're just doing their jobs,
Yeah.
If they do it well or not, that's another question. But if you make it harder for them, chances are it's not going to go any better for you. In fact, you're almost guaranteeing it's going to go worse. So, And I've had a couple altercations with authorities, and they didn't always go perfectly well. But I was always compliant, and nothing really outlandishly bad ever happened to me. It was just like, I got caught doing something stupid, got in trouble. Oops.
Yep.
Gotta pay the consequences.
Yep, like you said, that's what happens when you're a man.
Games win stupid prizes. That's what I learned. And I'm like, I don't do that shit no more because it ain't worth it.
So these guys have also been following Charlie Kirk.
That's right, kitty.
And kind of pointing out some of the inconsistencies. This is probably one of the last things we're going to look at, unless. What you asked me about? Did I write an answer to which question? I think you were talking about the gender stuff, which is pronouns, trans stuff, gender ideology, all this, like, really all the woke crap just shouldn't be there at all.
The fact that they put so much emphasis and importance on it is really my biggest problem with it. It's like, okay, it's a thing, you care about it, that's fine, but shoving it in my face constantly, always yelling about it, always causing a stink about it, always drawing attention to it is a little.
Can we learn how to read and write first, and then worry about
things?
Yeah, finances. Let's learn how to budget.
Very important. Healthy economy, very important. Learning how to balance your checkbook, very important.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
Who you sleep with and why, I don't care. I really don't. As long as
and
it's
why are we
consensual,
talking about that with 12-year-olds?
We're talking about ages of consent. Other than that, I don't fucking care what you do in your bedroom, bros and girls. Just you don't have to take.
Yeah,
pictures
they
and
want
show
to
me.
teach that, so that's what I was saying. This is like the 3D or 4D chess thing here, where we got like, it's causing a divide. That's part of the poison. That's part of the. We're not learning the useful things that are going to get us anywhere in life. We're not learning the things that are going to get us on the 10% side, not the 90% side. We're learning things that are going to keep us slaves, really, to the machine, because you're going to get debt. You're going to fall into the trap of just the hive mind that says you should do X, Y, and Z, which means go to college, maybe graduate, maybe not, maybe get pregnant, not have a family, abort the baby, maybe not, maybe live off the government, maybe, move to New York where they're trying to make, all the rich people can pay for everything. Okay, well, do you know why a lot of people aren't rich? Yeah, the rich people are going to leave. And then guess what? Who is the next richest people? Okay, so the least poor of the poor people, you're going to take all their shit and give it to the even poorer people? Like, do you understand at some point there has to be a productivity? You have to produce something into society. You have to like actually build something, whether it's a family, whether it's a business. It can't just be selfish gluttony literally all the time, especially when you've deserved nothing and you haven't earned anything yet. You have no life experience. You put it like every generation prior has had to like work in a factory, has had to like, build a house out of mud and sticks, has had to like, what I'm saying? They had to do something to earn it. And now we're just like handing out shit.
I'm sorry. Leo just asked a question. We don't understand why. We don't know why it's such a big deal. Like, why is this something that we have to constantly be talking about when it's in the grand scheme of things, like, not important? Like, it just doesn't. I mean, unless we're talking about God and sin, it just doesn't matter. Like,
yeah,
so
exactly.
Why does it matter? Why? Like, we have other things to be talking about than this. And all it's really doing is creating a divide. That's all it does.
It's divisive.
It just perpetuates people who don't like it to become hateful, and the people who hate those people to be more hateful. And then we're just more split. And then the next thing you got is a bunch of people shooting each other. So, and that's not good. I hope you would agree with that. I hope anyone would agree with that.
Yeah. And we always welcome all perspectives.
It's just not that big a deal. And I don't freaking care what you identify as or who you sleep with or want to sleep with or what you have in your pants.
Or
I don't
what
care.
your damn
Like, it doesn't
pronouns
matter.
are. Don't
It
give a
doesn't
fuck.
affect
Don't
me.
tell them to me.
It doesn't
Don't
affect
care.
my ability to make a living and save money and become a success and to have happiness in my own life. Like, I just don't care.
Don't care.
I support your right to be happy, but, you know, that's on you. That's it. That's how life works. Government is not responsible for your happiness.
Nope.
They are responsible for making sure your garbage gets picked up.
And
we pay
that
them for
stronger people don't come along and take
Yeah.
your things.
And we trust them to have all the weapons to keep the bad people away.
Yes,
and we trust them to use them responsibly and not on us.
Which
That's
is even
really
coming
like,
into question these days.
everything else is just icing. I mean, it's the main things about government is just keeping like the bad stuff away. As you know, we shouldn't be looking to them to make our decisions for us. That's not a good idea.
All right, so these guys are tracking a bunch of the inconsistencies. I'm gonna have to run in just a little bit. I got maybe another 10 to 15 minutes before I have to run out the door. So we're gonna look at a few more things.
no.
Happy to continue the discussion, and we will be back next weekend. But one last thing to look at here. What's
We're
this?
almost over.
All right.
I mean, that story goes something like this. A lone gunman named Tyler Robinson with a trans lover devises a plan to climb on a roof during Charlie Kirk's event, uses his father's bolt-action rifle, fires a .30-06 round into Charlie Kirk. One shot, and as soon as he fires that shot, he's already in full sprint, jumping down off the rooftop. Then he instantly jumps off the roof. He leaves his rifle in the woods, goes to Dairy Queen for a little snack, just casually hanging out at Dairy Queen with a bit of a smile on his face there. That Dairy Queen, by the way, George Webb just reportedly showed that it has a closed sign now. It's been removed. Like, well, this Dairy Queen has just vanished. Watch.
Well, we're at 1545. Is that a Dairy Queen sign? Interestingly enough, it looks like it's been totally taken apart. At cleaning mop.
Oh my God. All this shit, man. Like, all of this stuff is
so
just
weird.
Like, I know. And so, backstory, Candace Owens got someone apparently from this Dairy Queen sent her a picture of Tyler Robinson with a timestamp on the security camera or whatever. And in this Dairy Queen. And so they went to it, and now it's completely just deconstructed and empty. So they can't talk about it or no, there's nothing here to question. And of course I would imagine any video or whatever has been completely deleted as well.
Buckets everywhere.
Gone. Okay.
That's strange.
Yeah, that's strange. And the location where Charlie Kirk was shot has now been renovated by the university, almost immediately. It's behind a gate now as work continues there, putting down new cement slabs, redoing the entire ceiling underneath that particular area where Charlie Kirk was sat. Totally fine, totally normal to have that done almost immediately right after a major assassination event. Okay. Tyler Robinson's family turned him in. Tyler confesses. End of story. Stop asking questions. But none of that makes sense given the evidence. Specifically when we analyze the kill that ended Charlie Kirk's life. Joining me now is former CIA agent Larry Johnson. And I should point out that Larry Johnson spends most of his time as an NRA licensed gun trainer. Literally spends time almost every day on the gun range training people how to use guns. And says that the official story is 100% a lie. Now, Larry and I spoke at length yesterday about this, and what he told me was pretty shocking. I said, Larry, we got to get you back on. We got to get you on the show. Larry, good to see you, my friend.
Hey, good to see both of you. Thanks for having me back.
My pleasure. So, I guess maybe I want to stick to the gunshot. I mean, that's where you're an expert, and that's where you smell a rat deep down. Can you walk us through it? And really, am I putting words in your mouth when I say that you think this is 100% a lie, the official story they're telling us?
Yes. It's a complete fabrication. So let's deal with the actual facts that we have. Fact one is Charlie Kirk is dead. Fact two, he heard a gunshot.
Whoa.
Sure sounded like a rifle.
This guy's a freaking genius.
Three, the wound
we should listen to him.
that killed Charlie did not have arterial blood spurts. Now that's it. That's all we know from actual facts. We don't know precisely from where the shot came from. We're told that it was done by this kid Tyler, except when you look at the video of him running across the roof, you realize that video should have picked him laying down on the roof taking the shot. We don't get that video. And then as he's running across the roof, his shadow disappears at one point, and then you can see people on the ground in the background walking, and they all of a sudden disappear. So the other fact we have is the video evidence that's being presented as evidence has clearly been tampered with. And so you can see that person in the very, very back that's just walking on the sidewalk. And
yes, these people have bothered me for a long time because at this point, we are supposed to believe that people are screaming and running in the quad around the corner.
But but maybe more importantly is Larry's point that they disappear.
And so does the shadow. Okay, right.
Yeah. Look, it's like, where'd they go?
Yeah.
Beam
where does the
me
shadow
up,
go?
Scotty. So let's talk about the wound. Anybody that's watching you or listening to you, go to Rumble, go to BitChute, go to YouTube, search 30-6.30-06. There are ample videos on the internet showing what the power of that particular bullet is. When it's fired out of that cartridge, it's propelled with a force of about, traveling at speeds upward of 2,000 feet per second, and tremendous force. They've got images of ballistic gel, which is designed to resemble a human head, and the skeleton of the part inside. They shoot cow bones, cow femurs, which are thicker than a man's arm. And every one of those shots shows that the bullet shatters completely, passes through. If that round that hit Charlie had been a 30-06, as the FBI and the local police claim, Charlie's head would have been, if not completely severed, partially severed, and it would have been unrecognizable. Well, that clearly didn't happen. Yeah,
blown off his shoulders, essentially.
Yeah. Can I get you to respond to the Turning Points USA spokesperson that said that, yes, under normal, that would have been normal, but his body stopped it because he had superhuman bones, essentially? Can you respond to the possibility of a bullet entering somebody's body and then, like a pinball machine, working its way up and out? What is the chances of that happening?
Yeah, zero. So look at there's another guy on YouTube called Valhalla VFT. He's a retired Special Forces soldier. And he's got a firearms business up, I believe it's up either North Carolina or Virginia. But he's got an extended video. He took the 30-06, he brought in a precision shooter, and they shot a variety of things, including a cow femur. Now, a cow femur is 4 to 5 times thicker than a human spine, and it's big. When the 30-06 round hit that femur, it shattered it, just exploded it. Next, they took another cow femur, put about a 4-inch bag of meat on top of it, and it still shattered it. So this notion that, I don't doubt that they may have found a bullet, but the bullet they found was not a 30-06 round. That's the key thing.
That alters completely the FBI's official story. Exactly. So if it's not a 30-06 rifle round, what was it? And as you and I were talking yesterday, you were saying you think you know exactly what it was.
Well, I think it's speculation at this point, but it could have been what's called a 300 blackout. Or like a 223, the 223-556. It's a NATO round. The 556, the NATO version. That's what you shoot in a regular AR-15, M4.
All right, so this guy's talking about, of course, like if you actually got shot with a 30 or whatever, the bullet that he got, the 30-08. Your head would have exploded effectively and flew off your body. Like this will kill a moose. And they're trying to say his bone structure was like so dense that it like stopped the bullet or whatever. And it's like your head would have exploded right off the body. And honestly, learning about gay people maybe is one thing, trans people, whatever. But again, I really don't think it makes sense to do it in school because first off, who's making these decisions that someone's trans or gay or all this stuff, and why are kids so concerned about it? Like, why is it so important? It should not be important. Should not be at all important in any way, shape, or form. Because, number one, what, are you having sex as a 12-year-old? Like, no. So your sexuality is really irrelevant in any way.
Past, hygiene and health matters, which I had in what, 6th grade? I think.
What, like acne or?
Yeah, the basic your health class about how boys and girls are actually different, and like we're finally actually gonna like teach you something about that. Yeah. In middle school or whatever it's called. Some people have a different name for it.
Anatomy.
Something else. Right.
Yeah.
About washing yourself and you're scrubbing between your cracks and your crevices because you're starting to stink, and
Well, and how babies are actually formed, so people don't.
Yeah, how babies are actually
sex
made.
All and now you have a baby.
Right. So if you had parents who didn't really answer your questions, like here's the actual answers.
Which I mean, frankly, I think parents should have more of a role in there. But
yeah. I do too. I think most kids in my class already knew the answers. It was more of just here it is officially because the government told us we have to teach you this.
And I think a lot of people end up,
and I hoped it would be like that for most
being
students.
quote unquote gay or trans just because it's the cool thing or it's like the thing or whatever. It's like, have you ever like had a wiener in your booty? Like, are you gonna like? How do you know? Like, what are you trying to say? I don't know. There's just too many things, and frankly, your hormones are all insane, and you're frankly not even fully developed yet, let alone able to make a decision that's gonna like have a lasting effect on the rest of your life. So I don't know. That's why it just shouldn't be there. Like, until we have mastered math and science and reading and allow kids to develop their intellectual brain in an uncapped way, we shouldn't be shoving it full of all this like psychotic stuff. Yeah, unfortunately, when I say because it's cooled, it's just like, okay, oh, the straight man, or like it almost becomes like an outcasting thing because you don't have some awkward abnormality. I've noticed this too, like with Gen Z, is like they want to idolize like the thing that really shouldn't be. Like, you want to idolize being the outcast almost, and like, oh, I have a mental disorder, that makes me quirky and cool, or oh, I'm super flamboyantly trans, so pay attention to me because nobody else, like, I can't get attention otherwise, or oh yeah, of course I'm gay, and like I want it. Okay, you don't know anything yet. I mean, you might, and maybe some of them, yeah, I'm not going to say it's sweepingly 100% to everybody, but for the most part. And if it wasn't like being glorified, I think most people wouldn't even entertain it, let alone it become the center of their entire identity and being, and anything they talk about has to center around, I'm a non-binary, trans activist, libertarian, blue-haired Karen harpy psycho. I don't know, man. I can't do it. Yeah, being gay isn't a choice, but what I'm saying is not everyone is also telling the truth, number one. And number two, when it becomes the thing that is the first thing that's talked about when you meet someone, oh, are you gay? Are you trans? What are your pronouns? Like, now that becomes the thing that you're focused on. That becomes the thing that you're obsessing over and like trying to like we talked about earlier with the emoji stories, like over analyzing and doom scrolling your own brain of like, oh, like what is my gender, and like, oh, do I actually feel like if you didn't even, if nobody asked you, you wouldn't even think about it, let alone it become the thing that identifies you. And we haven't conquered the basics. I don't know, man. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't either.
Form. Interestingly, the size, the diameter of the bullet is the same as a .22 caliber bullet. So it's not like the bullet's bigger. 300 Blackout, though, is a little bit bigger. What makes 300 Blackout a potential candidate in this is that when it enters the skin, there's a cavitation effect. Now, I think I saw you had the stacked up cards that shows that you can find videos as well where somebody can shoot a 50 caliber bullet, and the mythology is that the shock wave that follows it is so great it would blow the cards out. Well, I can show you videos where in fact it goes through, but when one of these bullets enters human skin and is in fluid, and there's this cavitation effect, so it's you can see these waves.
Dang it! All right, this wasn't the one I wanted to show, but they'll go over a bunch of things. There's just a ton of inconsistencies. So apparently, there's an eyewitness. I would really recommend people to watch Candace series. Everyone who gave a public statement on the news was either employed by the police department or was part of this one specific company that like owns the whole town or whatever. Like, I don't know. Again, it goes down the rabbit hole, but at some point when enough things come together, yeah, maybe one or two things, sure, is circumstance. when literally the pile of things just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. Like,
especially
at what
when
point,
it's like a lot of little questions that should be easy to answer, yet nobody wants to talk about it. It's like, well, just, answer these ones you can answer, and then we'll know better. But no, I just want to talk about that. We know what happened. Just shut up. It confuses me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had any reason to question anything about the situation, except these little things keep popping up. And they're coming from people who I'm like, I can't ignore that this person just said what that person just said. Like, that's like, what is going on?
It is crazy.
Do I even want to know what's going on? I don't know. Shit.
I know, and that's the scary part too, is like, it's knowing too much dangerous almost. It's like, holy shit, I don't know. But
not just that, it's like, it's, I don't know, watching humanity in action is hard enough, right?
I know, but I'd rather know what's real than
like,
just keep being, blind to it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Like, and because who knows, the next time it could be worse. And if you're not sure what to look for, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's just so many things. And I'm like, if you don't actually look into it and you just look at like surface level media, they're all saying the same thing. And it's just easy to be like, oh, well, everyone at the surface level is just saying it's open and closed. This guy did this. We have footage. Da, da, da. If you watch the video, you can see people just disappear from the video. Like, they walk and then they just disappear. Okay. So clearly the video was edited. And like, just all these things, it's like, what the fuck is going on? And then when all the people are involved in government, it's like, well, that's weird. Like, there was no witness that wasn't in the government. Like, that's weird. Just everything. And then, they renovated where he was killed like the next day. They just like paved over it, and it's like, did you need to do that like so desperately on a crime scene that you just like like, I don't know, that's crazy. Just everything is like, what? And then they want to make it sound like, oh, anyone who's thinking like, oh, that's crazy, they're crazy. It's like, I don't know, when I look at something and I'm just looking, I'm like, that looks like this, and you're telling me it's not. I'm struggling a little bit, I'm not crazy. I'm struggling. Help me understand that what I'm seeing is not what I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, do you believe that we start having sex ed class? We want to fuck all the time, teaching children that some men won't make the main thing on their mind because for a kid, it's just another class. The problem is that's not the case. And who cares? Why does the kid need to know that some men fuck other men? Like, who cares?
In one class, it's the whole curriculum apparently is now being centered around this.
All
like,
this
what is your
gender
identity?
stuff. Yeah, exactly.
And if you, as a kid, you're you're impressionable by those who you spend your time with, including teachers and other students. And if the general, culture is, it's not only okay to be, different, but it's celebrated to be different to the point where if you're not different, you're basically at best ignored or at worst vilified. It's like a little too much in the wrong direction. Whereas if it's more casual part of, health class, and your social environment is more about accepting people for their differences, that's really going to get you to the end that you're looking for a little bit more efficiently, in my opinion. It's more about people like living with each other in the end and not being violent against each other. And that's not where we're going. So whatever the purpose is, it doesn't seem to be working.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. And it's confusing as to why it is being presented in such a way. And like I said, I'm not against other lifestyles that aren't mine. But I don't need to be taught about it in school unless I explicitly choose to learn about it.
Yeah.
Like, so why is it part of grade school? And I guess I understand your perspective of when you're young, you're more impressionable, so you want to teach acceptance. But acceptance is not the same as tolerance. And really what you're looking for is tolerance, because you can't expect acceptance. You can hope for acceptance, and that can come through time and interaction, but you can't force someone to accept you. You can only encourage them to tolerate you.
Mm-hmm. And then this comment, so I know what you're saying, but this is what happens. You're poisoning people. And I don't know if you were here when we were looking at Lucas earlier. Like, he got poisoned by the thing that you're talking about. He got poisoned by history class that said the white man is bad and is the cause of all the reasons for everything that's bad that happens to you as a black person. That you should have no accountability, that you should just be angry at white people because some time ago to black people who you might not even be descendant of, like, that's irrelevant to all of these people. It's like, was your family actually affected by slavery? Did you come in after slavery was completely gone and like literally have no effects from it? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not getting into all that, but the point is he was poisoned by that, and that has become his life, and that has become the thing that defines him, and the thing that's going to keep him from getting anywhere is because he was poisoned in that way. Unfortunately, well, I guess fortunately, that's not a poison that is pushed as much. Like, if every time you had a social interaction with your friends, if they asked you, what are your thoughts about slavery? I think you would end up in the same problem, right? Like, now all of a sudden we have this crazy, like, that becomes what everyone's talking about. But it does happen to some people. And even though, and some of those people, it might be even because that teacher or that, unfortunately, that person was exposed to the wrong person that had it and like poisoned their mind. But that's also why I think learning needs to be separated. There's learning things that objectively, like math, and some of the sciences that are like objective sciences. And then
the natural sciences.
Then there's more of like social, and that's where I think parents should be more involved and say, okay, these are things that I value for my children to learn from a social standpoint, and how I would like them to behave in a civilized society where we have certain values and behave a certain way, and then coordinate that with other people with similar values, and ideally, you know, exposing people to a broader topic. Like, I don't want to be siloed, but when it comes to like learning math and science and stuff, there should be nothing, right? It's, here's what you need to learn it as fast as you can, as in whatever way that works for you. It doesn't have to be every 8-year-old is like exactly doing this, and some could do more, some can do less. It doesn't matter. Let the kids learn. And then when it comes to social, now we partially, as communities, we have to decide as a community, what do we value? Do we value, you know, this kind of liberal stuff? Or do we value kind of more conservative values? And maybe there's some level of just, you need to be exposed to broadly to things. But even that, I'm not sure, to be honest, frankly. I mean, I hate the idea of just completely siloing people, because then it becomes even more of them versus us, and more of echo chamber. So there has to be some level of cross. Yeah. But there's some things like I would reject 100% if my kid was like, hey, some trans thing. I'd be like, nope, reject it, and we're gonna fix that, because that is just not happening. And the only reason it happens is because of the poison. Like, it wouldn't happen otherwise. But that's about what we got for today. I got to get scooting in just a few minutes here. If we got anything else, let's see. Some people do get poisoned, that was me. But if they want children to stay away from different people, like the plague
parents. Well, it's on the parents. I mean, public school is public school, so the government doesn't really have a place in certain areas. But if the parents have specific sets of values, then it's on them to either homeschool or find a private school that they can afford that teaches the values they want taught. So I think homeschooling is great.
Homeschool.
I
There
think we should have
be
4-day
no
work
public
week,
school.
and one of those days should be having your kid at home and teaching your kid at least, like minimum.
1 day a week.
No, but I mean they have to go to social school and stuff, and they do sports and stuff while you're at your normal job. But more people can work from home, etc. So
We need to have a better health class, like health that's actually healthy living. These are the foods that you should eat, how to build a high protein diet, how to
not
actually
be obese by the
exercise.
time you're 20.
Yep. How to live a healthy, like physically healthy lifestyle.
How to lift something without screwing up your back.
Like these
that's
are the
important.
things that should be being
That's
taught.
really important, but they don't teach that to you unless you happen to have the right gym teacher at some point.
And then I think all of the sciences should just be learn it to whatever extent that you can, as fast as you can, gamify it, whatever you need to do. Let each kid learn as fast as they can. And then the social stuff, like you said, sports teaches you a lot about cooperating and overcoming obstacles.
And working with others.
Music, like band and stuff. Even just proper social, like, I don't know. I never did Model UN or anything like that, but like, some sort of like, hey, here's, you have your community, you have your community, like figure out like if you were building a community, what do you think would be valuable?
To explore what they enjoy is also very valuable.
Understanding opportunity
costs.
costs.
This is all homework. It's like
if
they
you
don't have
have
time to do anything they like.
They're
always
you have
doing
100 resources and you got to spend them on this, that, and the other thing. You got to make decisions. What do you prioritize? Like all of these critical life skills. Like I feel like we don't learn anything anymore.
No. Well, the schools rely on parents to teach that. At least historically speaking.
I know, it's crazy. You're like you said, your kid to school to learn, and they don't learn there, and they expect you to learn at the home. It's like Jesus, man. Like
it's like Well,
that's why I think everybody should homeschool.
The school is therefore
Homeschool.
responsible for is things like math and history and being
But
able to
now,
write a full
honestly,
sentence.
I think they should do VR goggles, do math and science like virtual. Here's like however you need to learn. It's in your virtual space. Whatever you need, there it is. Learn it as fast as you can, gamify it, whatever. And then when it comes to social, now you can bring people together. But the problem, too, is when you have 30 kids in a classroom and 10 of them are being little idiots, well, now you're impacting 20 other people that don't have a say in the matter.
Right.
So it's just the compounding negatives. Like, literally, school is toxic, unhealthy, and then kids get anxious, you get bullies. Now, the teachers can't do anything. So I've seen kids knock the teacher unconscious. I saw a kid throw a computer at the teacher's head. I saw like a special ed kid, or I don't even know special ed necessarily, just had some emotional issues. They took the game, like a Game Boy away or something, and a kid just punched a teacher, jumped on top of her, was punching her while she was on the ground, like full out, like a giant kid just bashing this lady's head in. And it's like, yeah, this is school. Like, I don't want my kids there. Fuck that.
No. I don't want to be a teacher there. Not that I'm a teacher, but I wouldn't want to be there.
School, like I said, school should be split. I think, in fact, learning sciences and math should be all virtual, really. Like, it's mostly there's no one involved. Like, someone maybe oversees to make sure, or helps you if you have a problem, but for the most part is not really interacting with you. It's just you're in the computer, and if you can gamify it well, like, you're more or less playing a game and learning math. Like, okay, solve these problems, how fast can you do this? Like, make some sort of game where, as you solve these things, you unlock something. Like, and now you're just playing a game, but you're learning. And it's great.
And you can
and
still
it's
foster
at your own pace.
Competition in a VR environment.
Yeah, you get
Absolutely.
brackets of people that are, somewhat similar, and they can compete with each other
in some situations.
And then the social
Like, you can learn
aspect
easier in a
is
lot of
where
situations.
now you need someone more guiding it, whether it's the parents. And honestly, I think the parents should come together. I think women should not be at a job. I think women should stay the fuck home, raise the kids, and raise them communally. And hey, here's like the 10 parents or whatever, they have kind of similar-ish values. Let the kids, figure it out. And then when you have things like sports and band and whatever, where you have more of the cross-pollination between everything, that's where you can kind of be exposed to the broader like units, but that builds people correctly, or at least what I hate is then you enable potential echo chamber for like the lib psychos to like really poison some of the kids, but at the same time, like if that's how they want, if that's how they want to raise their kids, it's like, whatever.
Yeah, right now with the economy the way it is, I don't think that's feasible because there's no time for parents to devote.
Well, I mean, you say that, but there's a cost of childcare also.
The answer as to how to do that is by having our nation return to Christian values, plain and simple. But it ain't happening. But that's the answer. It's never going to happen, but that's the answer. And because it's never going to happen, I personally do not believe that we can actually repair this country. I think it's in a downward spiral. But right now, we can at least try to keep it like hold it back as long as possible. That's what we can do right now.
But yeah, and I don't think we could just like flip a switch and then all the women are out. But I think that's what we should be moving towards, is like, how do we build a society where only one person needs to work, the other person is actually raising kids, because we're failing. Like, that is a crisis. That is a huge crisis that we are not addressing, and we need to focus the resources of the government to how do we fix this problem, or even if it's local government, like we need to find a way to incentivize actually building a family again and building it the right way, and not single moms getting like living off the government and all that kind of stuff, but build a family where the man, or woman, the man could also be the one that stays home, but generally speaking, someone stays home with the kids, the other one goes to work, and it works, right? Because there's also value in building children, right? That has a value. And if women aren't in the workforce, that causes a demand, right? Because now we have less people.
Workforce demand, which means you get paid better. Mm-hmm. And you get paid better because you're able to support your family.
There's also a reason to automate things more.
How it was once, but not that
exactly.
Was perfect.
So now we're moving back towards that direction, where how can one person do more versus we have a supply of human labor that we can just use instead of making more efficient per person. We'll just hire more people. Yep. Well, change it. We don't want that.
A little bit.
We need high performing people, and then that can enable their partner to stay home and raise kids.
In fact, it would even benefit greatly with AI coming into the picture, taking over a lot of the positions that, they just aren't needed anymore. We got robots to do it, and to do it better. And if we all benefit from that, that's pretty cool. But that won't happen.
Yeah. So I think it just aligns all the incentives. I think that builds a better society. I think that because then you have like people actually cooperatively, again, raising children and building a foundation and actually investing in the outcomes of their children versus the like selfish, like, what do you call it? Gluttony and like the immediate gratification and all these things. So I think it would just solve a lot of problems, but who knows? I don't think we'll ever get there, but we'll see. We'll see if this divide gets big enough that people stand up and actually try to fix the problem instead of just screeching about everything. I think it could get better. I think it could get worse, but I think it would get better, at least in the short term. And then we would learn how to eventually get to the point that the robots do most of the things. And then we can focus on building good families, because now people don't have to do a lot of things. But
we could actually work towards a utopia.
Yeah, we could actually focus on
it's actually
building
possible.
That.
It's actually possible. Like, it's never been possible before that humankind could actually create its own utopia. But it's possible. It's not going to happen, but it's possible. I'm pretty sure the unfortunate downside will happen as far as that. AI is going to basically make a huge population of really poor people in a small population of insanely rich people. And it'll just be like that until
But here's the thing.
Society completely collapses.
You learn how to use the tools, right? Because here's the problem. one person that's a high performer, and this is the thing that people don't understand. You have to have the skills to begin with, right? And then AI enables you to multiply your already high skilled self. If you are not skilled, AI is actually a detriment. So what happens is, like for me, when I write software and I'm using AI, I can write, like I can outperform a team of 10 average developers, for instance, just because an average developer is typically garbage. And one person that's good using a tool that amplifies that person will outperform tons of moderately skilled people, even if they're using the same tools, because they don't have the skill set to like really leverage that tool to a high degree. Eventually, I think the AI will get to the point that it won't need as much of that top performer to operate at a high level. But right now it's true. So honestly, to me, this is the last chance for Gen Z. Is you have to figure out how to become a top performer and leverage those tools that are available to get that gap.
That sounds like a lot of work and effort. I don't know. I know how I feel about
it's
that.
a lot of work, but that's the only chance. Otherwise, they're going to end up in the underclass. But that's what it is. If everyone's placed by AI, then everyone will study AI. So if they need only one person, that won't make it better because everyone wants a job. But that's the thing. You won't need the people to be doing the jobs at that point. It has to transition from take some people out of the workforce to raise families and leverage tools. Accelerate that to the point that the tools can mostly operate themselves, and then take those people out as well, but focus on building families. And then all of the value comes from automated systems, and we don't need to work, really. Like, some people will work and some people will need to do certain things, but like the work is going to be raising children.
Yeah, and
anyway,
then the question is the system set up to benefit raising families, or is the system set up to not
enslave everybody and create an
right
ultimate
now,
rich race of people, you know?
To not benefit raising families.
Exactly.
Like, except for a few tax incentives, you basically, like you said earlier, you're in the hole for having a baby.
Yeah.
You're losing money, but you're doing it for something other than profit. So it depends on your perspective. But you have to go.
Yep, I gotta fly. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Leo, for
thank you so much for
talking with us,
interacting with us.
Yeah,
we
we're
appreciate
happy
it.
to have all opinions.
We like having other perspectives.
Yeah, we'll be back next week, Saturday. Would love to have you. Like and subscribe if you'd like to, and we hope to catch you next time. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks, Ziggy. Thanks, Lauren. Thanks, Bobby. Thanks, everyone else that was joining us, and we'll catch you all very soon.
Captain Pav and GONxFREAKS on stage. News from RedNex, where truth is the stage. No bias here, just facts you'll see. In every corner, the world story will tell. From the streets of Paris to Tokyo's gleam, every city, every voice will hear them. No spin, no hype, just calm and serene. RedNex World News, where truth